Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope!
I'm putting my heart up. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! On three! 1, 2, 3! Turn that damn true
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, time to get this thing on the road. Welcome into halftime on a beautiful Monday across the Natural State. It's going to be freezing later on tonight. But Arkansas football was red hot Saturday in beautiful Provo, Utah. Probably the most picturesque setting I've ever seen. Not just for college football, but maybe sports in general. And Hogs put on a great display, especially offensively. KJ Jefferson coming back to the team. And boy, that seemed to have an impact on both sides of the ball, even though Arkansas remains beat up defensively. They did play themselves a much better second half against that BYU offense and snap a 3-game losing streak, and now you head into the bye week with a 4-3 record. And it was wild across the SEC. College football was almost turned on its head on Saturday. The NFL was something else, and the Major League Baseball playoffs have already seen a bunch of upsets. So lots to get to here on this Monday edition of Halftime, and the first thing to do is to say hi to the folks in studio. And we've got Matt Jones, new co-host on full-time with us now. Matt Travis, of course, driving the truck. It's not a car, it's a truck today because it's 3 hours long. And how you guys doing today? How was the weekend?
Phil, doing great. It's good to be in here with studio with Matty T. Jealous you got to go up there to Provo, and I mean everything you saw on TV. It is a postcard setting. Was it not just absolutely beautiful? Did you eat some good food? See some good people?
Well, it wasn't like I wasn't like a lot of the folks who came from Arkansas to treat that as
you got to work.
I think the experience that it was. You know, even Tommy, who was working. I mean, he was up there from Wednesday and had a chance to see some of the sights and experience some of those things. Even Rick Schaefer, who traveled with the team on Friday, he elected to not do the usual Friday night dinner with the Learfield crew. He walked up Y Mountain, up to the Y, halfway up the mountain. And, you know, so people had experiences. I guess my experience was just kind of traveling in and out, football game, and an Argentinian meal Saturday, which was kind of fun, too.
So you were there for the sunrise, weren't you? I saw one of the pictures. You looked like you were bathed in the sunlight.
Well, I got to Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Let's see. I guess I got in there about 9:30 in the morning, and of course the Wasatch Front. The city of Provo is on the west side of the Wasatch Front, so you look onto the east, and the sun is rising right above the mountains as I was walking in there, and it was as bright as a baby's backside. Man, it was something else, and the place was totally filled up, a whiteout. And it was a great Saturday of college football. And they had another crazy game just north in Salt Lake City with Utah taking down USC on a last-minute 2-point conversion. So saw a lot of disappointed USC fans in the airport the next morning while we Razorback people were sort of looking at each other and winking and smiling and giving that very knowing nod as it was great to see the team put on this display. I mean, here it is. I mean, we went into the game expecting, guys, that it would be a run-it-down-their-throat sort of a Saturday. And, I mean, in some ways it was, because Arkansas did run quite well, 42 times, 277 yards. But, man, they built that lead through the air. And KJ, I mean, you had to have felt immediately. There felt like there was an impact for having KJ Jefferson on the field. He played incredibly well. But I think it led to, you know, aside from the way he played, it just the team kind of carried themselves, I think, a little bit differently than the week before. You get your QB back one, that makes a big difference. And, Matt, I mean, I thought KJ played so well. I think we focus a little on that, like getting away from the sack and everything, and it was a great moment. But I mean, from the first play to the last play, I thought KJ was terrific.
He did. He was stoic. I mean, he held himself with poise out there. He distributed the ball well. It seemed like he wasn't eyeing just one guy. He'd go through his reads. I think 9 or 10 different Hog players caught a pass. A couple of them were running backs. Green looked really good out of the backfield. Rocket had that one fumble early, and you know what? Sometimes you're going to have a fumble. He doesn't want to fumble, but man, I thought that could have been his best game as a Razorback. The way he ran the ball just wore him down. There was a time in the second quarter you kind of looking for him a little bit more, but he did fumble, and sometimes you got to go over there. And the good thing about this Arkansas Razorback football team and one of their calling cards for years is they do have a stable of backs back there where they have 2-3 deep where you can give it to somebody else. I like Debinion. I like what he's doing, the way he runs the ball, the way he's getting better. And KJ had that one pass early in the first quarter that they dropped it. He threw it to the other team, and then other than that, man, he played pretty good too. Didn't take a lot of unnecessary hits, and then I was happy. I was really, really happy that when he landed on his head, that he was able to get back up, and he seemed like it was okay.
Oh, was that an oh crap moment or what? And especially that it was. I mean, that at that point of the game, nothing really mattered very much. The game was, you already had it in the bag for the rest of the day, and you see him take that run and land on his head awkwardly. And I mean, I would imagine everybody across Arkansas just sort of held their breath for a moment while he lies there, and you're like, oh gosh, please no. We already had all these conversations over the last few days about what he means to the team, but just a stinger.
Were you surprised, Phil, that they didn't play Hornsby? Really, I thought that they might have a package for him or do anything just to get him in the game, or did it just not seem that it was going to go that way? I guess they just didn't feel confident. I wonder if anybody asked him that question.
I know, and I kind of wonder if you're not going to use Malik as a wide receiver, and I think a lot of that has to do with he just wasn't interested in being a wide receiver. Well, you want to get him the ball at some point, but that never happened, unless the last few plays, because at that point KJ's off the field. I guess I was a little bit surprised, but at the same time, it's like if you put Malik Hornsby back there behind center, that's taking your most important player off the field. Theoretically, I would assume at that point KJ's not, like lining up as an extra running back or a wide receiver or anything like that. But I mean, you did get the sense of who the most important player on the team is based upon the performance on Saturday, and there's no doubt. I mean, you went into the Mississippi State game knowing who the most important player was, and then you had it laid out in front of you in no uncertain terms. And then on Saturday he just sort of showed it again. But I guess that also leaves itself to the question: do you see Malik line up at quarterback at all? Or even as a guy who lines up next to KJ a couple of times per game. We didn't see that once on Saturday in Provo.
Yeah, that's my thing is I want to give the defensive coordinator on the other team more stuff to worry about. I want mismatches out there. You want him going over film. You want him saying, man, when they put this kid in here, that's a matchup. We got to account for this guy. I want them to have to go over. And I just feel like Malik is that type of guy that he's not our starting quarterback, and he shouldn't be. But there should be a way to be creative and to get him the ball a little bit. You got Trey Knox, who I was glad to see kind of got going a little bit this game. That let's find a way to get him the ball. I like some of these guys on our matchups that could give us some success. But then again, we got to tackle. We got to stop them. We Auburn. You look at that Ole Miss. Some of these games coming up. We can't plan on giving up 40 points a game and winning most games. So we got to get that figured out. But I like 17. Is it Hudson Clark? The way that defensive play on that interception, the way he read the ball and went over there and caught that. I mean, that was one of the best defensive plays I saw during the entire game. And then being in the right spot at the right time, picking up that fumble as well.
Well, Matt, I think there's something to be said about the way the defense played, and also considering that you lost another cornerback during the game, another defensive back in Malik Chavis to what appeared to be a concussion. And I mean, I thought they played as well as they possibly could. I mean, you had guys like Kewan Parker and and Trent Gordon playing cornerback for you. And you could do 3 million simulations of the season for Arkansas, and there aren't too many of them where both Parker and Gordon are on the field at the same time. I thought they did fairly well, but there's a question to ask about this, moving forward. You mentioned the defense, and Arkansas can't allow 32 points a game really in the SEC and expect to win. And you also wonder, how many defenses are left on the schedule where Arkansas is going to put up 52, and just be, a physically overmatching the other side of the ball, which I think you saw time and time again, and certainly by the time in the third and the fourth quarter, and you're down to a 10-minute drive to finish the game, and BYU just had no answer for them. I do wonder, but Auburn, not a great defensive team, but a different sort of athlete that plays there than at BYU. Same at LSU. That's not a bad defensive team at all. And Ole Miss has been playing really well, although I know Auburn gained over 300 yards on the ground against them. They just couldn't throw.
Yeah, I think this Auburn game, Ole Miss, LSU, I think all three of those games, Liberty game, hopefully we're able to stay healthy and win that game. But Auburn, LSU, I see both those games. Either one of those teams can score 50 on the other one. They're going to be shootout, toss-up games. But that BYU win, Phil, that was so big, getting to 4-3. You got to win 2 more, and that's just on the very low end of it. But you got to think we got 5 games left. Find a way to go 4-1. That Ole Miss game scares me a little bit, but the next game on the sheet is Auburn, so that's the one we're worried about. We got to go to Jordan-Hare Stadium, and to win on the SEC on the road, it's not easy. You don't chalk those up as wins. So we still got 2 road games. Those are going to be toss-up games, and hopefully we can get healthy.
The crazy thing, you mentioned Ole Miss, and that's a good. They now control the division. Ole Miss now controls the division with the shocking loss by Alabama to Tennessee. The Rebels, who get LSU and then A&M before a bye week, and then they get Alabama. They now control this division, just the same way that Georgia controls the East. Even though Tennessee's going to have something to say about that. And how about those Volunteers? At least somebody ended a long losing streak to Alabama this year, and hopefully Arkansas can pull it off next season. All right, so we've laid it all out in front of you for the next near 3 hours now. Calls and texts, 877-377-6963. We're going to throw the phones open for the next segment, so anything you think about Arkansas football or maybe the red-white. Maybe you were one of the people who was at the red-white game. Well, call us and tell us what it was like, because I got no highlights. I saw some highlights on the Razorback website, but otherwise I don't know exactly what happened outside of what's on the box score, because nobody could see it because there was no internet inside the building. So let's step aside for a break. We got Connor O'Gara in hour number 3 and nobody up until then. So it's just you and us on halftime. And again, the phone number 877-377-6963. We'll get into a lot more Razorback football after a break on halftime.
Snow packs and skid tracks. People forget, but get there hiding behind an eminent front. So put on.
See, what every long shot come from behind underdog will tell you is this: the other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you, fair enough. But what the odds don't know is this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Ride without compromise. CF Moto's brand new U-Force 1000 XL with 2 3-person bench seats to haul more rear ends as you haul butt. Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma has the perfect CF Moto for any road you choose. Get some serious mud on the tires with aluminum rims, custom paint, power steering, and a 3,000-pound winch. No wonder the CF Moto is Auto Finders' best-kept dirty little secret. Ride without compromise at Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma in Roland. Visit a complete list of inventories online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
Tired of spending all your hard-earned cash at the gas pump right now? Wheeler Power Sports is here to help you out. They have a giant selection of motorcycles and scooters to help maximize fuel efficiency. There are over 50 scooters in stock right now, with some getting up to 100 miles per gallon. Wheeler also has a great selection of motorcycles from the Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Kimco. Check out their full inventory at WheelerPowersports.com or check out their showroom in person at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Get by your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith and make it a double combo with the Jamie Foxx Fox on the Rocks box with Fridays big ribs and wings served with seasoned fries and one of our 2 new awesome sauces. The new Fox on the Rocks barbecue sauce made with BSB brown sugar bourbon flavored whiskey and whiskey glaze blaze. And now Fridays has $2 beer all day every day. So stop by your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
You know, fall in the natural state really is the best. Football, fantastic weather, and some of the country's most beautiful scenery. At Rath Auto Resources, we love fall because prices are falling on all of our Rath Road-ready vehicles, making this the time to save on your nicer, newer car. And it's so easy. Just call, click, or come by. Let one of our friendly, non-commissioned solution specialists do all the work. It's their job to help you find just the right car, get you extra for your trade, take care of all the financing, and make sure you leave in a car of your dreams at a price and payment that fits your budget. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center. Philip and his team know how to take care of your car. More importantly, they know how to take care of you with convenient, affordable total car care and savings like half off brakes and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Why wait? Start enjoying your fall now in a nicer, newer car from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
I can see why you think you belong to me. I never tried to make you think or let you see one thing for yourself. But now you're off with someone else and I'm alone.
Twin receivers to the right. Jefferson's going to throw. Pumps once. Looking deep. Got a man wide open at the 5. Complete. Touchdown, Arkansas, Matt Landers. Matt Landers was wide open, 39 yards and a score.
Yeah, that's a nice route right there. That was a double move. I mean, he ran a double move, little stuttered go. That cornerback bit on it like crazy.
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
It's kind of funny and not ironic, I guess, maybe coincidental more than anything. When the season started, guys, I remember we would have like our, who's going to lead the team in this and that category and everything. And I picked Matt Landers would lead Arkansas in receiving touchdowns. And then through 6 games, nothing. Done a disappearing act, actually. I mean, it was getting not criticized openly because the coaches don't do that by name. But when they do say he's got to get open more, that gives you a window into exactly what they're thinking. And boy, did Landers get open. He now, with the 3 touchdowns on Saturday, is tied for the team lead in receiving touchdowns with Trey Knox, who also caught his 3rd on Saturday against BYU. And, I mean, if the passing game's going to open up, and that's something Sam Pittman talked about going into the week, and I wondered if it was just talk because of the opponent, because of what Arkansas does so well. I thought maybe it was just talk. It wasn't. I mean, 28 passes in the first half, 40 pass attempts for the game. They really did open it up. And if you're going to do that, you've got to have a deep threat, right? And Landers is that. He was that on Saturday, was able to get open. And I loved Knox catching a touchdown over the middle inside the 20. Because I think for some struggles in the red zone, tight end, slot receiving comes up so huge in those moments. And I thought it was great to see both of those guys step in and come up with pretty big games.
Yeah, Matt Landers can definitely take the top off the coverage, and you know this, Phil. I'm a Trey Knox fan. I like what he does just as a football player. Like if we're picking teams and picking sides, Trey Knox is one of the guys. He's reminds me of a Brandon Holmes guy, just a guy you want that could go play defense if he has to, could go cover a kick, has good hands, can kind of do a little bit of everything. And it opens up when you have a guy like Landers that can get open, and teams have to start taking accountability for him and take account for him. What that's going to do is Rocket's just going to keep doing what he's doing. And he had 15 carries, 11 yards per carry. I mean, probably his best game I thought that he's had all year. But it just, I don't know, because he just keeps having a good game week in, week out. It's not like he's really had a bad game.
So let's look at the set of receivers and count the running backs in that conversation. Because if you're going to open up a passing game, if you're truly going to be a team that's dangerous throwing the football like they were last year, you've got to have guys that you trust at every level to be able to do some damage. Landers is your deep guy. I think Warren Thompson was in that conversation too. Thompson didn't play in the first half. I don't think I saw him on the sideline, but he was out there in the second half. He's had such an uneven career. It's kind of like maybe he will, maybe he won't, but I don't know if you can count on that. And for Landers, I mean, it is one game. It is one game. We'll see what happens against Liberty. Hazelwood is a really good possession receiver. I like him. We'll see about Keytron. We'll see about Bryce. They were sort of, limited in what they did against BYU, though Jackson caught 3 balls for 55. And then I really like, obviously, Trey Knox at tight end. I like Dubinion and Green.
Yes.
When they catch it out of the backfield. Dubinion, to catch 4 balls for 40 yards and score a touchdown, he's a really dangerous guy. And you can see they want to get him the ball in different kind of situations because he can make guys miss, and he's shifty.
Green might have the best hands out of our running back unit from what I've seen. He's just so natural with it. Dubinion, too, they kind of look – sometimes they'll when you're watching it – you almost kind of tell, now who was that? Was that 0 or 6? So they kind of have similar styles. I like both their games, and the way KJ's able to knock it down to their running backs. I mean, that's just such a good trait, such a veteran move to be able to go through your reads and know where your outlet is, and to be able to rely on those running backs. Nowadays, it's like when you're watching these basketball players and you're a 4 or a 5 position, you got to be able to hit a wide open jump shot. You can't have running backs these days that can't catch the ball out of the backfield and catch the ball and do certain things like that anymore. It's just tough the way the game's evolved over time. You got to be able to catch the ball, and we have running backs that can do that.
Well, and you have such a deep group of running backs. You noticed Rocket on the sideline after the fumble, and they didn't put him out there for a couple of series. And that's, we wondered about the idea, and it looks like Dominique Johnson is the odd man out right now.
20. Yeah, he played one play at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was more of a blocking down, than anything else. He's a really good blocker. So I think you're down to your 3 right now. We'll see about Dominique if maybe there's a red shirt that he throws on. But I just don't see him getting into the rotation unless there's an injury. But of the 3 guys, they trust all of them.
I like
to take
that group.
over an entire series.
I like that group, Phil, and I think to your point, we should be down to our 3 running backs right now. We should know who our group is when there's 5 games left to go. I mean, we should know before that. But, yeah, I think you're exactly right. And, man, that's a good 3. And I think all 3 of them are coming back next year if I'm not – and you're going to have KJ. And I know we're not getting into that right now. But that's a good group. And if they stay healthy, man, they're going to put up a lot of points.
Yeah, there will be a conversation about who's coming back next year, which I think includes KJ, but that'll be a little more in the offing.
He needs to come. KJ needs to come.
So?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think he can play at the next level, but yes, the way that those NIL deals are, Phil, then you can make as much money as you. He should stay and take some teaching again for another year. Yes, sir.
I got to tell you, at the start of the season, I thought it would be a foregone conclusion that he would be gone after this year. I guess it's because I expected he was going to play so incredibly well, and he has, but.
He is. Yeah, he has played good. Yeah.
He has played well, but the accuracy is still a little down, and I guess I wonder that's the thing that you got to find a way to improve to really make it at the next level is to flat out be more accurate with the ball because he's got the body, he's got the ability to take the hit, he's got the arm strength, and you know it seems that some of maybe not all of it, but some of the numbers on accuracy, certainly on deep balls last year, had a lot to do with Traylon Burks being Traylon Burks.
Exactly. Those back shoulder fades, and anytime you're getting in 3rd and 7 and they mess up and just single cover him, you're able to check to that. KJ is a heck of a quarterback. He's going to own every record up there by the end of next year. He's a heck of a player. He needs to work on his accuracy, be the leader of the team for another year. Take these guys, be that guy for another year here. And he can make a lot of money, but yeah, he definitely needs to work on it and get better. He has a lot of good coaches up there. Has everything he needs to have success, and I think he will. Man, I'm a KJ fan, and I think he will. I think he's going to be just even better next year.
So I mean, you mentioned the coaching that he's getting, and it's like I don't think we're going to hear any calls for firings of the coordinators throughout this week or next week.
Let's keep these. Yeah, let's don't.
I thought Kendall Briles called a great game, and the more I look at even the Mississippi State game, even that game where Arkansas just never had an answer for the Bulldog offense, I still think that the game that Odom called put them in a position where they could have made some plays. And when you look at what they've got left in the secondary, I think they played as well as they possibly could defensively against a dangerous BYU team. And I mean, I don't see any reason to criticize either one of those two.
That Mississippi State game was a weird game, and we had some. You think about some of those turnovers we could have got. That we got 3 turnovers against BYU. You get some of those turnovers. That's 17 points. That could have been. It could have been a totally different game. I do think Mississippi State that day though was better than us. If you're watching the film and we didn't have our starter in. And we played another quarterback for a couple of possessions that you're wondering why was he the backup quarterback? What was that reason for? But apparently he showed that he should have been. But I like Hornsby, and I hope this week we take this bye week and we're able to get him into some jet sweeps, get him into a quarterback package, get him to a couple of things that he can do that can cause mismatches for us going forward.
I know the team won't practice yesterday or today. I believe they get back to the sort of a grind tomorrow, without a game on Saturday. But Auburn also doesn't have a game either, so you can really start preparing for your next game. And then they'll get the weekend off, so I'm sure they're really looking forward to that. Bye week. What would you do during a bye week, Matt?
Let's see, bye weeks there. So one year, my freshman year was 9/11, and so we didn't get a bye week. Our bye week, we had a game because we had got it canceled. The second year, it seemed like our bye weeks, whenever I played, was always like week 2 or week 3, and so you're not giving a team, you don't get any time off during a bye week.
Would you always be like, why are we getting one now?
Right?
Can't we get one in October?
And then we play 8 games in a row. Yeah. But that seemed to be, I want to say then is kind of when ours was, yeah.
Well, on Saturday, I'm taking the kids to Hot Springs because I don't know the next time I'll have a weekend without a game to cover. So I don't know how much football I'll be watching on Saturday. I got to have some time with the kids.
After this weekend, Phil, man, dude, we got it all. That Alabama-Tennessee game, you see the way that field goal goes over? I thought it was short. Was your first initial when you saw it? I definitely thought it was short.
Well, so, I mean, we had the television. Keep in mind that game kicked off the same time Arkansas kicked off at BYU. So we had our game on the television in the booth to be able to see the replays, and as soon as it was over, somebody switched it to Tennessee and Alabama. But I got to host the first few segments of postgame. All I could do was look up during a commercial break. I missed the field goal. But when I saw the replay of it, I'm like, I saw somebody tweet about it, like, that's the ugliest made field goal to win a game I've ever seen in my life. And it looked like a knuckleball coming off his foot.
Yes, it did. That's as soon as I saw it, because it did the same thing where I was watching it. We flipped over there, and we're like, oh, we might have overtime, and you see Alabama miss their field goal, and they get down, and you see the guy jump through because you're not allowed to jump over the deep snapper anymore. So he tries to split the gap, and you're like, and you see it go off, and you're like, did he touch that? Did he get a handle of that? And it just knuckles on and just floats right. Oh man, that was Tennessee fans. Man, you think they've slept yet? They're probably pretty excited.
It's a legitimate question to ask as we go into the break here. Like, did you feel happy because Alabama lost, or were you a little more bummed out because it was Tennessee that ended the losing streak to the Crimson Tide instead of the Razorbacks? Because you kind of felt you had that opportunity and it didn't work out, but at least there is one lengthy losing streak to the Crimson Tide that came down, so it makes you believe it definitely can happen. Yes, even Vanderbilt has beaten Alabama about a handful of times. And I went on later in the show. There are still some pretty lengthy losing streaks and winning streaks across the SEC, though that one is done. And it was 15, not even close to being the longest current active winning streak for one team against another SEC team. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. We've got a big blast of cold weather coming in this weekend. So if you're fishing for cold water bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or you're just fishing for a trophy brown on the Mighty White, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue is going to catch them for you with that famous rolling action. It's fished extremely slow or worked fast and heavy current is going to work for you. The Rogue suspends, it'll be in the strike zone longer, and you can catch more fish. Find the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue at LureNet.com and tackle stores all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. The phone lines are open, 877-377-6963. Halftime is back after a quick break.
Home Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lam Lee has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at tulsawoundcenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Searching for the best UTV on the market but can't find it with any of the big name brands? That's where the Intimidator comes in. An American brand using American-made steel and built in Arkansas. Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard, unlike those other companies. Items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Hawks 5 for 7 on third downs today. KJ gets the snap, pressure coming, and KJ can't get away. Oh, he did get away, my gosh! He throws it to the receiver at midfield, it's complete. Inside the 40, inside the 30 is Knox, inside the 25. How in the world did KJ get away?
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
I've never cursed while calling a game, and I got to give it to Chuck Barrett for not dropping a holy S when KJ got away there, man. I mean, my job during the game, guys, is to zoom in with my binoculars on the line of scrimmage. I'm pointing out who makes the tackle, who gets a tip pass, who pressures the quarterback, and all of that kind of stuff. So when four BYU defenders had their hands on KJ Jefferson, I just pulled my binoculars down. I saw a couple of the numbers. I was ready to point to them on Chuck's spotting board, and the next thing I hear is Chuck screaming, "No, he did get away!" And I thought that would have been in the moment for a holy crap, but the other word that crap means too. Thankfully, Chuck's a pro and didn't go in that direction, but holy crap, what a play that was.
Man, that reminded me of some Big Ben type of stuff. Dante Culpepper. I mean, he's a strong and that that one of the reasons he is so successful is because his height, his strength, and how big he is. And one of the things that way you're told that a lot, and he's kind of a heat seeker though when he runs outside of the pocket, and that's some of the things where you got to kind of coach him out of it and say, man, we know you're physical, we know you're tough, we got it. But especially when you have some type of concussion issues and stuff, it's like when you're going forward, and it's like, don't take these unnecessary hits, even though he doesn't see it that way. He sees it as him being kind of a running back and seeing that. But you like that with him, and then that play right there. As soon as the one thing, Phil, that he really he does good is when he scrambles, he keeps his eyes downfield. Like whenever he breaks the pocket, he's looking, he's directing, he's going, and he's really good at that. And that's what he got his eyes up. I think about me being in that spot. Maybe I'd have just took off running, right after I got out of that. But he gets his eyes back up the field and makes a completion for a first down.
As a quarterback who not only is good at running, but you got the kind of body type for it and everything, and it's part of the offense too. The idea of I've got to stay healthy. I've got you know you're going to get hit, but there's a certain way to absorb it or whatever. Is it just a matter of you got to have that feeling in the back of your head, to try to avoid the hit? Because I'm seeing KJ up until this game against BYU, where I don't know if he seeked out contact, but when he got upended and landed on his head, I'm like, no, that's exactly the kind of thing we're trying to avoid. But I felt like up until then he has more often than not just tried to avoid the big hit.
The last couple weeks, Phil, I think you're right that he didn't play the last week, but going into that. When he started the first 2 games of the year, Cincinnati and South Carolina games, he was definitely running more towards contact, where then the Missouri State, Texas A&M game, he started doing that, wising up a little bit. But you can see that. I mean, you play Alabama, you play these tough games. I mean, Mississippi State had a linebacker, if it was 27 or 21, man, that was just filling the gap and you don't want to get tackled by these guys. If they're going to make you have concussions. So just going forward and knowing that that's an issue, man, when you get the first down, let's get out of bounds, let's slide down. And we're not going to win if our starting quarterback's not healthy. So he has to understand that the best move for the team is to make sure that you can be out there. Because if you can't go out there, we're not going to win.
877-377-6963, and we'll take your calls and texts today for this segment up until the top of the hour, and we'll reset things. This was I'll start this with an anecdote. The first time I went to LSU for baseball, I remarked to the people in the press box of just how friendly they all are, and everybody in the stadium was just incredibly friendly. And they told me, yeah, we're going to be really friendly to you. We're going to smile after we beat you too. So that's the first place that I thought to myself, yeah, people are really friendly here in this stadium, but I don't know if they treated the players the same way, the Razorback baseball players. Yeah, this BYU group, I don't know if a football team has ever been treated this way, the way that BYU treated the Razorback football program. For one, next to one of the video boards, they had an Arkansas flag flying. There was the BYU flag on the other side. I mean, sometimes you go to the SEC, they're going to have flags that represent the standings or just the entire conference, but I found that a little bit unique that they had the flag of the Razorbacks flying up on the stadium in a place where they've never played before. And I didn't realize this until Bob Holt wrote about it in the Democrat Gazette. There were BYU fans who lined the tunnel where the Razorback players entered, cheering for them, welcoming them into the stadium and saying, have a good game. I mean, we know they're friendly people there, but I guess and the other thing too, BYU fans gave Arkansas fans ice cream in the stands. It's hey, welcome here. Have fun. Even if you beat us, we're happy you're here.
That is awesome. Yeah, no, in SEC, you're liable to get spat on for getting too close to somebody else. So that's cool. And really, it is all bigger than this, as far as what college football is and everything. But man, that's cool that they're able to put their arms around you and welcome you in and do that. I don't know how that does for recruiting and what that does for the atmosphere and everything, and maybe that's that's weird, but yeah, I mean that's pretty neat.
I think BYU's got its own set of recruiting that's a little different than most.
They got to go on mission for 2 or 3 years, right, before they come back. Yeah.
Being an LDS school, they already have a built-in recruiting pitch because that's a place where kids that are LDS probably feel the most comfortable. 877-377-6963. What else did I wanted to ask. So we were blown away by BYU going for it on 4th and 1 inside their own territory. Now, initially, of course, they thought they had the first down, and then the replay officials said, wait a minute, we're going to take a look at this again, and then it was a little bit short. So the next thing you see is after the timeout, they stay on the field and go for it. We were totally blown away. That was the second time that Jaron Hall fumbled a snap when he came under center, and most of their snaps come from the shotgun. It wasn't until after the game that Kalani Sitake admitted that the ball wasn't even supposed to be snapped on that play. He didn't call out the center by name, but you know exactly who he's talking about. And we wondered, what is he doing? Turned out all they were trying to do was draw Arkansas offside. They were going to call the timeout and punt. That was the turning point in the game, and it came because of a mistake of a second-string center who had not been playing very much.
That makes sense because you practiced that play. So we called it no play. We'd have a check, a formation change. We'd have a shift. We might sprint up to the line of scrimmage, but it's called no play in the huddle. So coach will just say, how stupid are you? You know, like coach will get on you if you mess that up because what are you snapping the ball for? There's no play called in the thing. So I don't know how they do that. What they go about, but that makes sense that it was the backup center. He probably hadn't practiced that play. You know, he's nervous as it getting in there. He all of a sudden I mean that makes sense now. But yeah, if you did that, coach would. There's no play, son. What are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, please. Didn't you know you weren't supposed to? You had one job. Yeah. Usually it's you had one job, snap and block. This was you had one job. Don't snap the ball, and you screwed it up.
Yeah, and sometimes you can tell that they did that last night in the Philly-Dallas game. If you saw that they ran up there, and you could tell they weren't good. They were just shifting in motion, and then they got the guy to jump. And you're taught as an offensive lineman when the guy comes over to the neutral zone, you put your hands on him because he's moved. And you saw that it was 4th and 4, and they went up there and they were actually going to come off, and you see, and I said, oh, they're just going to try to draw them off sides. That's all they were doing, and they ended up getting the first down. So it still works, yeah.
This is going to be fun because look who's on hold here. This will be, and maybe he called when you were on radio previously, but now we've got Eduardo from Clarksville on the phone along with Matt Jones. These are two Razorback legends who are now having the opportunity to talk with each other. Eddie, how you feeling going into the bye week after a win? Good to hear from you.
Well, sir, I'm feeling very optimistic now. You know, I called in Friday, and I said the theme song and how fitting it is. Just look at Provo, Utah, when I put on Poison, something to believe in. And, boy, did they do it. And I've been there's criticism, there's praise. I want to give Coach Biles some praise today. I've been kind of chewing on you all season long. I thought your offense was predictable, up the middle, but suddenly, in Provo, like a lightning bolt, you opened up the offense. Congratulations to you, sir. And keep that up. Attack them on the perimeter. Great job by our receivers. Great job digging deep by the whole team, the whole coaching staff. You get a whistle today. And that was a very important win for a lot of different wins. Keeps you in bowl contention. And now, you went down to Provo. Woo! You brought the survivor. And you rose up. And I mean, the Tiger, baby. You rose up and dug deep. And you rose up at Provo. And I believe it's going to propel you the rest of the season. Thank you for taking my call, gentlemen.
Eddie, wow, that was succinct. It's 90 seconds. It's like the shortest call he's ever had on halftime without me talking to him before. So, I don't know. I think he might be a little intimidated by you being on the show now, man.
He wasn't a Browse fan for a little bit. Sometimes Browse he maybe tried to overthink it a little bit. But he's super smart. He's just a young OC that they're gonna have bad games too, you know. But I think Browse, I like him and Coach Loggins in that offensive room. I think they'll get us to where we need to go.
Last week, Eddie called and he started going off on Barry Odom. He didn't say anything about Odom in that quick 90-second phone call. He probably needed an extra 90 seconds to get into that. All right, we're gonna have a break on halftime. We'll wrap up our first hour with a reset right after this.
Lord, I think he's seen. 22 years of mental tears, cries of suicidal Vietnam baby.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Spooked by the thought of a custody battle with your ex? Get the chills thinking about high hourly billing from another lawyer? Don't hide in the dark. Call me, Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Divorce and custody can be scary. You need an attorney who can help at a price you can afford. At Mock Legal Solutions, we offer flat fees and payment plans. Call today. The first consultation is always free. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
Searching for a promising career change? Looking for an established company that pays competitively and values its team members? Then come be a part of the Beckert family. Beckert in Van Buren has immediate openings for production operators paying up to $29 an hour. Sundays are paid at time and a half, and night shift work has an added premium of $1 per hour. Applications are available 24/7 at Beckert, located off I-40 at Exit 3. Apply today.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? Oh, no way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Ask shelter insurance agents Ted McAvoy in Greenwood or Jeff Clark in Fort Smith about a free insurance review.
Do you have concerns about the integrity of your roof? Liberty Roofing of Fort Smith and the surrounding area is here and ready to serve you. Liberty Roofing is here for all your roofing needs. Quality roofing services, licensed, insured, and certified. Give Liberty Roofing a call at 650-6231 to get started for a free roof inspection and estimate. Call 650-6231. Liberty Roofing is here to tend to all your roofing needs. Let Liberty Roofing cover you. Check us out on Facebook.
When you need to customize your ride, whether for work or play, check out River Valley Truck Outfitters. Full line of LED lights for your headlights to work lights, B&W hitches, toolboxes, ladder racks for all your work needs or play, grill guards to full front bumper replacements, full line of WeatherTech and Husky floor mats. Let River Valley Truck Outfitters get your window tinting on. Best prices and quality in the Fort Smith area. River Valley Truck Outfitters can get your ride ready on Highway South 71 on top of Rye Hill. 648-8855. That's 648-8855.
You never know what you're going to walk up and find over the hill at the Tackle Box. They've got new arrivals of ammo just in time for the hunting season. Browning 223 50 grain for $19.99 a box. 22 250 soft points for $29.99 a box. Remington 30-06 for $29.99 a box. While you're there, be sure to check out all their fly tying supplies and all the frozen bait you'll ever need for your fishing trips. Be sure to visit them online at tacklebox.online.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Hey, where's the rest of the beer?
I'm probably out unless you clowns brought some.
Well, I've already had 3. Who's going to get more?
Order it from your phone.
From where?
Sody's delivers.
You mean where my girlfriend gets her wine and those cheese plates?
And if you don't want to drive, that's where you can order it. My free beer is gone.
Sody's now delivers inside Fort Smith city limits. Just order from mysodys.com or download the Sody's app and order from your phone. Sody's Wine and Spirits. Experience different.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
Short 7. They give it to Rocket coming left. Big hole to midfield. Rocket to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the house. Sanders for the touchdown. 64 yards. Hudson Henry sprung him with a block, and the Razorbacks have opened it up.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh, you want numbers on Rocket? I got numbers on Rocket. It'll come during this first hour reset.
Reset and refresh. Reset. The great reset.
It's time for the Halftime Reset, giving you all the info and facts you need to make it through the rest of your day in sports.
False start. Both teams back on it. Get back here.
Now, here's Phil Elson with your Halftime Reset.
Arkansas soccer had a 5-game shutout and winning streak snapped yesterday in Tuscaloosa by the second-ranked Crimson Tide. 2-1 the final score. Ava Tankersley scored her 5th goal of the year at 17 minutes, but Arkansas couldn't manage another goal. Bama leveled the match 7 minutes later, took the lead on a penalty kick in the 84th minute. Arkansas now 10-3-1, a 5-2 SEC record. They got LSU Thursday night at Razorback Field. Arkansas volleyball swept 2 matches from Tennessee Friday and Saturday at Barnhill and evens their SEC record at 4-4. They are 13-5 overall and wrap up a 5-match homestand with Texas A&M Wednesday night at Barnhill. The game time for Arkansas and Auburn has been released by the SEC office. Going to be an early wake-up with an 11 o'clock kick on the Plains in a couple of Saturdays. And here's your numbers on Rocket Sanders. Career high 175 rushing yards on Saturday. He stays atop the SEC in rushing at 870 yards for the year. He's averaging 124.3 yards per game. He's also carried the ball more than any other back in the SEC, 140 carries in 7 games. Currently, Rocket ranks 3rd in rushing yards in the nation and 7th in yards per game. Now, the numbers on Rocket show on his current pace, this would count a bowl game. He is on pace for the 7th most carries in Razorback history for a single season, 240, and on pace for the 4th most rushing yards ever in a single season at 1,490. Now, that's on pace. Who knows what's going to happen in the next 5 games or 6 games is what we'd expect. But there's quite a pace to have 7 games in. That is unbelievable. You think about the running backs that have come through that University of Arkansas Razorback program, and to be up there, to be mentioned in the top 5, top 10, and surely, you know, Phil, if he stays healthy, he should. I hope the best for him and gets a top 10 running back season, man. That's awesome for him, man. To be just in that, Darren McFadden, I'm sure probably, what does he have the most? And then you had we used to run that SWC when we'd run the veer option, so everybody's running the ball. So they put up a lot of numbers here. Alex Collins had 1 year that got him up near the top of the list too. And this also just coming from the SEC office, Hudson Clark is the SEC Defensive Player of the Week. Attaboy. 11 tackles. He recovered a fumble at his first interception in a couple of years, and probably has had more smack talked about him than anybody else on the defense throughout the entire season, and now he's got Defensive Player of the Week. Good for him. That he can show for everybody. Good for Hudson Clark. That's great. All right, we're into the second hour of halftime, so don't go anywhere.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Why do people do business with First Western? Because First Western builds relationships with all of their customers. They partner for the long haul to help you with your financial goals over all seasons of life. First Western is prompt, responsive, and they deliver with quick answers and on-time loan closings. When is the last time your banker called you? If you are looking for a high level of service and a financial partner who will listen and respond, try First Western. For more information, visit them online at firstwestern.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust. offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
With over 8,000 square feet of all the latest trends in lighting and plumbing fixtures, Great House Fixtures has all the brands you know and love, such as Visual Comfort Lighting and Delta Faucets. Their experienced staff can help you design and select the perfect fixtures for your uniquely you home, including sinks, tubs, faucets, custom showers, indoor and outdoor lighting, chandeliers, mirrors, hardware, and more. Make your house a great house. Learn more at greathousefixtures.com, located on 0th Street in Fort Smith. Great House Fixtures by J&B Supply.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny and cooler, our high mid-50s north, mid-60s south. We're clear and quite cold tonight, upper 20s north, upper 30s south. And then Tuesday, sunny skies. Our highs will be in the low to mid-50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Follow us on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
Good station.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on HitThatLine.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I'm putting my heart, dog. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down, Drew!
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Earlier in hour number one, I don't know if it was introduced as the right way, but it was the first time that Eddie from Clarksville, as we call him Eduardo, here on Halftime, called with Matt Jones as our new co-host. Have you ever spoken with Eddie before, Matt, or was that a first time?
That was the first time.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So get used to it.
Eddie from Clarksville. All right. He seemed excited. He seemed like he has passion, fiery, ready to go. I mean, he's I like it. So far, I mean, it was 96. I like, it was real quick. Got in there, said what he had to say, and got out.
Don't expect the quickness. Too
okay.
Often. That was the shortest call he's ever had.
Yeah. Somebody said on the YouTube chat, I can't tell if Matt is trying not to laugh or cry, and that was during Eddie's call. So I'm not sure.
Stay tuned because there will be other interactions between the two of them. I've tried to focus on forcing Eddie into a conversation rather than him just screaming into the phone. But 90 seconds, you can deal with it. It's okay. So we've got other people that we can introduce you to and have first conversations with here on Halftime over the next couple of hours. 877-377-6963 when you want to have that conversation. Red-white game is something to touch on, but again, it's tough. You're just looking at the box score and everything. It's a little tough to figure out what happened. I know the team didn't necessarily shoot too well from long range. Jalen Graham, the 6'9" transfer out of Arizona State, led all scorers with 25 points. Nobody's really talked about Graham all that much, but he's one of these veterans who played at a big program previously, and he's kind of wonder if it's a matter that he's fighting for playing time at the power forward/center position. But 25 points against the likes of Trayvon Brazile and Kamani Johnson playing in the front court against him, and Mikel Mitchell. That's pretty impressive.
Phil, I was able to go to practice about 3 weeks ago or so, and is it Ricky Council Jr.? Is he a guy, Ricky Council? So there's number 1, number 4, and Nick Smith, who's number 3. Phil, those number 4 and number 1. Those are our guys. That's the basketball. As far as I don't have to see, you don't have to see any more of it. Those guys are the guys that are going to take us to where we got to go. I mean, they couldn't stop them. If Ricky Council's number 4 or whatever, I mean, just watching practice, man, they were good. And then Nick Smith, he's probably going to be a top 5 pick in the NBA. I mean, that dude is that good.
And Black maybe too, and Anthony Black.
Yeah.
With 9 assists and 9 rebounds. Devo didn't play. But you mentioned Ricky Council, and he's Ricky Council the 4th, so I guess that's junior times 2.
They couldn't stop him in practice that day. Number 1 and number 4 is who I saw that
Council's number 1. He didn't really shoot too well. 10 points, 0 of 4 long range. Kind of wonder about you played. You were on the Arkansas basketball team. That red-white game, was there a different sort of intensity in that game because you're going up against your own teammates and guys you know really well?
Well, so I was still at football.
Oh, you would have football in spring.
But so I was Nolan's last year, and they started doing that Midnight Madness. You remember that?
Yeah.
It was a great, like, I guess it's changed now, so it's not at midnight. But that was, dude, it was like a home game in there, man. They would get it rocking, yeah.
Well, they don't have the attendance numbers on the box score, but I'm assuming the place was totally filled because it's the only chance to get your eyes on the Razorback basketball team ever when they play against each other, unless you can be like Matt and just walk into practice.
It was one of those deals that Phil. So Ronnie Brewer, who's a Fayetteville legend, just NBA talent. I mean, played a decade in the league, but his dad did. So me and one of my buddies were up there eating lunch, and we're just hanging out. He's like, "You want to go to practice?" It's like, "Well, yeah, I want to go to practice."
How do you say no to that? Right?
So it just kind of happened. Wearing flip flop. Didn't even know what was going on. It was cool.
Well, we got callers lined up on hold. If you want to be one of them, it's 877-377-6963. Let's introduce Matt Jones to Charlie, who calls in from Camden around the same time every day, and we call him Tuna, to the point where Charlie now believes in his own nickname. He signs his text to us, Tuna. What's up, Charlie? How you doing?
Oh, man, is this like a dream come true for me? Because I told – and it's really awful, Phil, that you didn't warn Matt about Eddie.
That's how he does me, huh? Yeah.
I'll take the blame for that. That's bad teammate stuff, yeah.
You just threw him right in the lines then, man.
That's how I like it, though. Just throw me in there, yeah.
Well, I could have just gotten up and walked away while Eddie was talking. That would have been real bad form.
Well, Matt, I'm a huge fan. When you played, I remember you stepping onto the field back in 2000. I was probably 9. I remember that Ole Miss game, your freshman year, like it was yesterday almost. Now, your head was probably spinning because you're like, what a game. And now you were going against Eli, right?
Yes, sir. Eli was there. We played 3 times against each other. Yes, sir.
Well, that game right there, man, I'll never forget that game. And I was 9. So I don't remember a lot of games from back then, but
that's a good one to remember. I won't forget it either. I don't know if I've told. I don't know if I've told Phil this story, but so there was at the middle of like the 3rd or 4th overtime of that Ole Miss game. I'm a freshman, and you think about not knowing, everything is going so fast. You just in high school 6 months ago, and so I have to go use the restroom, and so I go down there, and guess who I see down there having to go use the restroom too? None other than John Daly was sitting down. He was at that game too. I'm a freshman, just sitting there right there next to John. Yeah, it was. Man, I'll never forget that game either. Thank you.
Who was the NFL player? Was it DK Metcalf that got a ride on the cart that they would take an injured player? He got a ride on the cart to the bathroom. We should all be escorted to the bathroom like that. My God.
I probably would. I might have been, because I'm sure you were nervous. Like, who wouldn't be in a situation like that? And like you said, I'm sure it was just like crazy. I want to ask you about KJ Jefferson because you've played the position at an extremely high level, obviously. Now, if you would have been in this system, a true spread system, boy, I could just think about the numbers you could put up in my head. A lot of rushing stats for sure. But I know KJ, I think this past weekend, a lot of people, kind of coming at him about his, can he really throw from the pocket? Now, granted, he had unbelievable protection. I'm not saying he didn't, but I thought, just from a pure throwing it from the pocket, other than that amazing play, and Matt, we've seen you make some amazing plays, but other than that amazing play that he made on third down, he really didn't really have to do all that the other day. I thought the receivers did a good job of getting open, and he just trusted them finally. I think that's part of it. You played the position, Matt, so I was going to ask you, last year he had Traylon Burks. I mean, arguably one of the best receivers in Arkansas, maybe, in your mind, the best Arkansas.
We don't have anybody as good
ever.
as him on the team that right now this year, and probably won't have anybody next year as good as you. You're right. Yeah, he was the real deal.
No, and that's what I'm saying. As far as KJ goes, with him throwing from the pocket, did you think it might have took some time just to trust some of these guys? Because you obviously have to throw with anticipation in this league. You can't, and all those things to get through your progressions. But, in his defense, they were dropping the ball a little bit earlier in the year too. So they weren't helping him out. I was going to ask you, playing the position before I go, how long does it take to kind of build that true chemistry with guys that, obviously you don't have a Traylon Burks. How long does that take to just really trust those guys and just let it go? Because KJ's a guy that don't throw the ball away either. So anyways, guys, y'all have a great one. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I think you're kind of right on. He did stand in the pocket and threw the ball well. Sometimes it takes a little bit of an injury or something weird happening where they're kind of telling him maybe not to try to take so many hits. I don't know. Everybody is different. KJ is so much more natural than throwing the ball than I ever was. He definitely has. He can make all the throws, and he's athletic enough, and so he's just learning. I mean, you're learning the system. I don't know how many years this is with Bryles there that he's been under him, his third year, so he should be getting it. And I'll tell you the biggest thing, and Phil, we talked about this on Friday. I think the biggest learning thing he had to do is I miss his tight end. I'd like to see Trey Knox get in there more, but missing Traylon Burks, missing that guy that you always knew. If he's man coverage, you just 100% knew. There's just a different – you don't have to go through your reads as much. You don't have to do – I'm going to Traylon Burks whenever he's one-on-one. And I think he got spoiled. You get spoiled a little bit that way, and now you got to come back, and it takes a little bit to kind of get going. But, man, I don't have any bad thing. KJ, man, he's been getting better each week. He's trying – the team, everybody likes him, man. You'd like to play on a team he's on, and he's getting better.
Man, and it's a – I wonder about, he knows the game plan when he goes into this, and usually it's a game where Arkansas is where he's either going to run it or he's going to be handing it off to somebody. Obviously, the game plan against BYU was different, and so he must have known, well, this game's going to be decided on my arm and how I work with these receivers. I still wonder. I don't know if there's like a go-to guy necessarily like you had with Burks. I think the overall position group is more talented, and it remains to be seen whether or not they're going to end up becoming a more productive position group than they were last year. But was there anything that you saw Saturday that made you think that maybe Landers can be the go-to guy? Because he really hadn't been up until BYU.
Yeah, I do think, and Phil, back to that point about him being able to stand in the pocket. We did just play A&M, Alabama, and Mississippi State. So he's gonna he not. Well, I guess he didn't play Mississippi State, but A&M and Bama. You're probably Nick Saban makes a lot of quarterbacks look uncomfortable in the pocket. So in BYU, and not to take anything away, but they don't have Alabama's front. They don't have A&M's front. So he was able to sit back there with more confidence and relax a little bit and go through your reads and not feel like. That our offensive line, and I mean that was number 70 that when he made that Houdini act. That just got beat right off the ball. But for the most part, I thought our offensive line pass blocked pretty well to give him the time. And you see it. If you give him time, he can pick you apart.
Yeah, that was the one time he got smothered. We got Cabbage Head on hold. Let's take that call. Cabbage Head, you're on halftime. How you doing? What's up?
Hey, good, guys. Good show. First time tuned in here. And that Matt Jones, that is the guy that played for the Razorbacks that I love to follow and played quarterback. Is that correct?
I did play for the Razorbacks, yes, sir.
I remember watching him do it.
Well, I just enjoyed watching you play so much, and I don't know what happened, but it looks like when you went pro, maybe that coach, I wasn't really a fan of his, who you played. Maybe he wasn't a fan of yours either, but somebody got in your way, son, because I think you really had a bright future, the way you could control the situation, and you were real good in that position that you played, whether it was receiver or quarterback. And I just really enjoyed playing. I really enjoyed watching you play, man. I really did.
Thank you very much. No, I loved Coach Del Rio in Jacksonville, and they were everybody. All my coaches were good to me. Yes, sir.
Well, I don't know what happened, but you could have been making as much money as any of them up there, I feel like, because watching you play the Razorbacks and then pro. But there's things happen, and people handle success different ways. But you were gifted, and if you would have chose that route, I think you would have been successful. But anyway, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're on here. I'll listen. I want your guys' opinion on these defensive backs that we've got. It's like they've had no training or skills at all. Now, I know, just like the coach said about them calling the interference calls, you got three or four of them that were just terrible, I thought, and they didn't like it. Thank you, ma'am. And I just wondered what you guys thought. Do we not have anybody skilled enough or can be taught how to play that position? Because
Cabbagehead, I'm going to step in real quick here because, I mean, look, they were down to essentially third stringers against BYU at cornerback with Kewan Parker and with Trent Gordon. And you got Hudson Clark playing out of position quite often at safety. That is not his position. He's had to learn that on the fly. And, I mean, let's just be honest about this here. When you've got two freshman receivers in Mbake and McAdoo who moved over to cornerback because of it's a position of need, then I don't know if it's a matter of do you have guys that have ever been trained before in this position. They're bringing receivers over to play that position because they don't have enough healthy cornerbacks. So, I mean, you've been down your two top safeties for the last couple of weeks. Catalon's done for the year. Slusher hasn't played more. I mean, he was only in for the first quarter against Alabama, so he's been gone for 2 3/4 games. These guys are playing, really, I mean, I think of safety and I think of nickelback as potentially the two most important positions on the field. They're like the quarterbacks for the defense. You know, and I thought the interference calls, some of those were bogus too. But I thought Arkansas secondary played as well as they possibly could have against BYU.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough when you got to go to the intramural fields or you got to go somewhere else and get somebody that's not really training to play that position because you have injuries. So it is, but as long as they can tackle, then let's get out there and let's go. And coach the coaching staff, you kind of got to coach to the talent you have, and so. If the kid can't do it, you can't set him out there for failure. You got to set him out there to what he can do.
Cabbagehead, also point out one thing. You know, a lot of folks said the same thing about Hudson Clark. You know, what is he doing out there? Guy can't tackle anything. He just got named SEC Defensive Player of the Week, and that award stands for itself as far as I'm concerned. So, wonder what you think about that.
Yeah. Hey, am I still on?
You're on.
Oh, another thing, guys. Number 10. You didn't hear Bumper Poole's name mentioned as much as we have in games past. Do you think they were keying on him and trying and shut him down? If they did, they did a good job because Bumper Poole is a great player, but he wasn't in on much. Do you guys agree?
6 tackles. They've been taking him off the field in passing downs and bringing on Pooh Paul, and I thought Chris Paul played pretty well. You know, so I mean, Bumper is not a 3-down linebacker any longer. I think part of it's also he's dealing with a shoulder injury. Injury might not be the way to put it, but he's been banged up, and it's that shoulder. So just think of how many tackles he makes. The shoulders are a major part of it. I think he's in pain, and I think coming off the field for a couple of plays, if not more than 2 plays per series, must be one reason also why you didn't hear his name as much. But he was tied for third on the team with 6 tackles, so he was out there quite a bit. Cabbagehead, appreciate the phone call, man, and appreciate you listening. So make that call again sometime. Thank you so much. And next up is I'm going to put in like resident wise man, but this is sort of the role he plays. It's JW in London. Hey, JW, we got you on halftime. How are you?
I just want to welcome Matt to the show.
Thank you.
I got to tell you, I'm kind of the quiet half of the Johnson County Outlaw set, so I see things a little bit differently, but kind of the same. You rank right up there, at least in my head, When I think of quarterback and I think of Razorbacks, I think Joe Ferguson and I think you. And I think basketball, I think of Corliss and Pat Bradley. And you're right among there in those kind of icons. And
man, well, thank you for the kind words. Thank you for your kind words.
I got one other thing to say. I don't know if you've ever seen a movie called Roadhouse, and there's kind of a famous scene in there.
Ripping throats.
Where somebody says, I thought you'd be bigger. And with you, I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm thinking, I thought you'd sound different. You sound so calm and collected. That is very cool. Anyway, welcome to the show, and I'm so glad you're on.
Thank you.
Matt, I got to say, it's like, you have one thing about you for broadcasting that's just a natural talent. And I think you were a naturally talented athlete. You had to work at a lot of things, too, in order to get where you got. But you got the radio voice built in.
I don't have any hair on my head, so I had to be blessed somewhere else, right?
Well, that makes two of us. That makes two of us. I've seen enough highlights to know you used to have plenty of hair, but it all went under your nose, it all went under your chin, and everything there.
everywhere but my head.
That's right. All right. 877-377-6963 if you want to get on halftime, and we'll take a break here. Remind you about Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. That's your place. Take your car anytime you need your vehicle's dent repaired by a professional that is local. I'm not talking about the pop-up hail damage places that just come in after a storm and are gone about a week later. This is a company, Michael, his family, his team, Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. They've been in business in the area for over 30 years, so they're not headed anywhere. They're just here to take care of you every day, every week, every month, and every year. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair, local, the best, and the name you trust. You can check him out on Facebook. Halftime's back. Quick break. Stay with us.
Keep on lifting. Higher, higher and higher.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
At Frank World Furniture, we want you to get this month started off right. So not only do we have no sales tax, but we are marking down every piece of furniture, bedroom furniture, mattresses, and dining sets in the store to unbelievable prices. That's right, marking all furniture down and no sales tax. In-store, no credit check financing, family owned and service after the sale. All American made sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners at Frank World Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Have a loan with a variable or balloon interest rate and worried about your cost rising? Interest rates are rising and you may have a problem. Farm Credit can fix that. Talk to Farm Credit about locking in a long-term fixed rate for the life of your loan. Farm Credit's long-term fixed rates offer peace of mind in changing economic times. We're offering the longest terms in the ag industry. Talk to Farm Credit today. Find an office near you at myaglender.com. Equal housing lender.
The fastest internet you can find in rural Arkansas is from Wave Rural Connect, and we're bringing it to you. The Piney substation will open for orders Monday, October 24th. If you live near Pleasant Valley, Bullfrog Valley, west of Dover, all the way up to Booger Holler, Wave is coming to you. Fiber internet, TV, and phone in your rural area from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Northside head football coach, Coach Felix Curry. I call 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
This is Northside head basketball coach Eric Burnett. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Football and fall, what a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
This is Abby with Davis Floor Covering. Get your home or office looking its best for this football season with new flooring from Davis Floor Covering. Whether it's new carpet, hardwood flooring, ceramic, porcelain tile, or luxury vinyl planks, Davis Floor Covering can help you with all your flooring needs with brands such as Bow Floors and flooring supplies from Maupe. And let's get started on beautifying your office or home. We even do countertops. Be sure to check us out on Facebook. Davis Floor Covering with 3 locations to serve you: Fort Smith, Springdale, and Tahlequah. Call 452-4808.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref.
That's simple human sense.
Visit the Charles Osborne Agency in Greenwood or call them at 996-2129.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Just a couple of things to keep you abreast of as we head into a bye week here on Halftime. There is no Sam Pittman live on Wednesday night. In fact, there's only going to be one media availability for Coach Pittman all week, and that's in Wednesday's teleconference. So usually by now he would have been close to wrapping up, or would have wrapped up his Monday press conference. There isn't one, so you're not going to have a press conference from Coach Pittman until, 7 days from now. Also, you got Hudson Clark named the SEC Defensive Player of the Week after an 11-tackle performance where he recovered a fumble, caused a turnover with his first interception in, I think it's been 2 full seasons since that fun game at Ole Miss. And Arkansas and Auburn will be an 11 o'clock kickoff. So we can have a little bit of fun with that.
Bill, do you like as working? So as working or playing, I did not like an 11 o'clock game. But working, do you like that 11 o'clock game? Then you're done. You kind of get in and get your stuff done, or do you like the late games where you might be up till midnight or so?
Well, for this Auburn trip, I'm not sure if it matters very much. It at least allow me a chance to get something to eat Saturday night. I don't travel with the team.
Gotcha.
They don't have a seat for me, so I'm on my own for travel, which is fine. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this show on Fridays. So I'm flying in and out of Atlanta for the Auburn game. But let's just say it was like a home game, right?
Yeah.
11 in the morning means I'm home and watching whatever the night game is.
Right.
By the time I get to 6:30. So I don't mind the 11 o'clock things. And part of it is also, like, I don't know if you had trouble waking up early as a college student. I know I did. But as I get older, and you and I aren't that far apart in age, I can't sleep any later than 6:30 in the morning. And that's Saturdays, and that's Sundays, and that is so sad. I just want to go over to the corner here and cry and suck my thumb because I can't sleep in anymore. It's like impossible.
I think it does come with old age. I say getting older, not old age, but I can take naps at any. I mean, you take a nap, and I'm with you. Like I used to could sleep to 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, but I'm up. It's just like you get up and you get going. Yeah.
I want to apologize. I have not seen all these texts that have come in the last 30 minutes or so. My thing wasn't updating at all, so looks like it's working okay again. And by the way, that Arkansas-Auburn game will be on the SEC network. All right, Wade in Branch has called us. If you want to get on the show, 877-377-6963. Wade, you're on halftime, and how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you and Matt and Maddie doing?
Man, I'm happy. I mean, this is a great week. We got a win. Everybody's happy about it, and don't have a football game to prep for, so I'm feeling good.
Yes, sir.
Hey, first of all, I want to congratulate Matt Jones for being on the air. I think you've got a great replacement, and Drew was great. I miss him, but Matt, you're the first NFL player I ever talked to on the phone, and I just want to congratulate you being on the air, and also.
Well, thank you very much. And you're right. This is a great place to work and a great group of guys. You're right.
Goodness, and not only you were a great quarterback at Arkansas, I remember you at Arkansas, but you were a heck of a good receiver too with Jacksonville.
Hey, that was fun, man. Thank you. Yeah, that was, man. Jacksonville
it was awesome.
Had some good quarterbacks there.
Awesome. Yeah. But anyway, it's an honor to meet you on the phone. And Phil, about the baseball playoffs, you said something about 2 or 3 weeks ago that to kind of keep an eye on the Philadelphia Phillies. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really agree with you on the phone, but you are right. Philadelphia is pretty dang good, and but San Diego's when they beat the Dodgers, that could be a heck of a series. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think it's going to be a great series, and it's amazing, really, because you had two teams that finished behind the division champions that end up beating the division champions. And I don't know what Philadelphia's record was against the Braves in the regular season, but I mean, they took care of the Mets, then they take care of the Braves. Yeah. But the Padres had no success against the Dodgers, not just this year, but the year before. I mean, the Dodgers have totally owned San Diego. But what this shows, look, I've read some stories of Andrew Friedman's got to fix the roster and this and that. No, the Dodgers were great this year. You build a team to succeed in the regular season, and then honestly, what happens in the postseason right now feels like a total crapshoot. And there's an idea behind this of the rested or rusted thing. We have this conversation with Mike Neighbors all the time, Arkansas women's basketball coach. You know, the Yankees, maybe the Yankees get past the Guardians, but maybe they don't. But the teams that rested, were they rusted, or is it just a matter of that's baseball? And I think more than anything, it's just the nature of the sport.
But anyway, guys, of course, Phil and Maddie too. Maddie, it's an honor to talk to you guys on the phone too, as well. So.
It's an honor to talk to you, Wade.
Wade, appreciate you, man.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
I'll talk to you later.
You're a loyal listener and a loyal caller, and we appreciate that. Wade and Breeze, our resident San Francisco Giants fan.
Oh, yeah.
I know one other in the state of Arkansas, and I got to put Wade and him together at some point because I just don't know many other people that root for the Giants that are far away from San Francisco as we are right here. The baseball playoffs have been nuts. It does not pay to be a division champion, flat out, when it comes down to it. The team that was rested, the Dodgers, the Braves, done. And I was shocked by Philadelphia beating them. I told you to be careful for Philadelphia. I didn't think they'd beat the Atlanta Braves. And now I have no idea who to choose between these two teams. I really don't. Both have great pitching right now. Their bullpens are doing well.
So it could be San Diego, Philly. That's a possibility.
Well, that's what it is. That's what the NLCS is.
That's it. Okay.
The Phillies
there
and the
we
Padres.
go.
And now the Astros are waiting for either the Guardians or the Yankees. And the way I look at it, man, the Astros are front runners all the way for the whole shebang. Just keep them away from the trash cans. 877-377-6963 if you got a call or a text on halftime. Hey, I want to tell you about Lark, the full-spectrum seltzer that's made from a perfect balance of hemp-derived THC and CBD. There's no alcohol in Lark. There's no sugar. There are no carbs. There are no calories, so it's great for your diet. And Lark tastes great. 4 refreshing flavors: strawberry, guava, mango, grapefruit, and berry. And it's all brought to you by Washita Farms. Find Lark at your local adult beverage store, or they'll just ship it to your doorstep, and you go to larkhemp.com to put an order online. That's larkhemp.com, but you got to be 21 years of age or older. We'll come back with more halftime after a quick break.
Gonna buy me a Cuisinart. Get their wall-to-wall carpeting. Get their wallet full of credit cards.
First, there was big tobacco. Now there's big marijuana. They've already ruined the quality of life in Colorado and California. Their next target? Arkansas, with Issue 4. They claim Issue 4 will benefit us, but in reality, it would only help a small group of corporate marijuana interests make millions and hurt us. By repealing limits on marijuana potency, Issue 4 puts profits over people, exposing our community to dangerous new higher potency marijuana products. By repealing advertising restrictions on marijuana, it puts our children at risk, exposing them to harmful marijuana products at a young age. Finally, as a constitutional amendment, any problems Issue 4 creates will be locked in and nearly impossible to undo. The truth is, Issue 4 would only line the pockets of big marijuana corporate interests and harm the quality of life for the rest of us. We can do better. Vote no on Issue 4. Paid for by Safe and Secure Communities.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $49.95 oil change, which includes 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today. For quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best in first-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
Hardee's new Charbroil Double Deals, starting at $2.99 each, have the Academy for New Offerings hailing this double cheeseburger deal as very new indeed. How much more new does it get than the new Bacon Double Cheeseburger and the new California Classic Double Cheeseburger? Not much newer than that. Well, I've got news for the Academy. After this, I'm getting myself a double cheeseburger from this new deal. The new Charbroil Double Deal, starting at $2.99 each at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included for a limited time. Price and participation may vary. Visit restaurant or app for details.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Gray Steel Structures Incorporated is a family-owned business based in Greenwood specializing in steel structures. Owner Will Gray has 20 years experience doing the job right and making sure you're satisfied with the structure you have a need for. Gray Steel Structures serves both commercial and residential customers. Whatever your need may be, mini storage, RV storage, home workshop, or any metal building need, make Gray Steel Structures your first call. Gray Steel Structures, 252-2783. That's 252-2783.
GraySteelStructuresInc.com. That's Gray with an A.
Looking for a way to feed a crowd? Think Golden Corral. Banquets, weddings, birthdays, or any sort of gathering. Golden Corral can handle all of your catering needs, from plate and serve to buffet style as well. They also offer a selection of menus and packages customized to meet the needs of the client. For your next catering event, visit their website at grocatering.com or call Mariah at 522-7958. Relax. Golden Corral has you covered.
Fishing never stops. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle has everything from jigs to raincoats, Todd Huckabee crappie rods, Bobby Garland crappie jigs, and stay warm and dry with a River West rain suit, the area's largest selection of Zoom plastics, Flash Mob Jr., Kitech swim baits, Mega Bass rods, plus rattle traps, life jackets, and rod and reel repair. Find all the top brands and everything you need at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
He's got a clover charm placed around his neck. Makes a man feel lucky like he's a prince. And everybody knows when he walks in the room, there's a rhythm to the way that he moves. That's the way that I believe in him. That's the way that I...
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
People pretty excited about Matt Jones being here on the show. We got a lot of people texting in. Their favorite quarterback. He's happy. Love having him on a Razorback-oriented show. Yeah. You ever get a little bit, I mean, I'll just ask this, because people are going to call in and just sort of, foam at the mouth about being a big fan of yours, Matt. I mean, how do you handle those moments?
Well, Phil, we talked the other day and talking about, public speaking and you're like, you just tell your story, and I get it. I've just never been good about talking about myself in way like, I can answer questions, whatever, but I just I don't know. I've just never been that way. So it's cool. Like when I was growing up and you had Barry Lundy Jr. was the quarterback up there and we went up there and my dad's like, you want to go get his autograph? Or I was like, I don't want to go get his autograph. I just never was raised that way. So it's just kind of neat or whatever. And I love everybody, it's really cool. But I don't know. I just I don't think about it, I guess. I just kind of let it. It's just all I don't think I'm better than anybody else. We're all the same. So it's like I don't see it that way.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little. You just got to remind yourself. You say thank you, and but I appreciate that. I guess there's only so many ways you can handle it, and that's probably the best way to go at it. So I saw this coming out from Sports Business Journal. This came out this morning about the Big 12. First of all, I gotta say, Big 12 football is fun to watch. I had some great games this past weekend. And, I mean, that's even –
that Oklahoma State team? Yeah.
Well, TCU's playing great right now. Yep. Kansas has I would call it a resurgence, but they never surged really to begin with outside of 1 year. Oklahoma's no good this year. Texas is all right. I wouldn't say that they're back or anything like that, but it's fun football. WVU is all right to watch. The Baylor-West Virginia game Thursday was just awesome. It was 50 times more entertaining than the NFL game that night. So I think, the Big 12 is fun. BYU belongs in that league from what I saw. From what I saw on Saturday, that's a high-flying, sort of an offensive-minded team. And we'll joke about they don't play any defense in the Big 12, but they're about to get Cincinnati and UCF, and I think it's a fun league. It's not the SEC, it's not the Big 10, but it is a Power 5. It is a major league. So I just kind of wonder about this. The Big 12, and again, this is from the Sports Business Journal. They've hired a creative agency named Translation to, quote, help the conference build a national, contemporary brand as it seeks a younger, more diverse fan base, unquote. I'm thinking to myself, could you imagine what this conversation is like inside the Big 12 offices where they're going to harumph and you know what, we need to get a younger fan base. Anybody know where there are kids that are watching football? It's universities, for crying out loud. They're all kids. I don't get it.
I was going to ask you too with the conference realignment and everything that's going on. It's just I guess there's job open. They're trying to figure something out because UCLA, USC, are they going to be in the Big Ten as well?
That's right.
That so? How do you? I get you can Zoom everything, you Wi-Fi, everybody has a picture, but as far as how do you travel? How do you go for the women's volleyball team and you go over and play Penn State or who? You're going instead of playing your regional teams. I don't understand why you would want. It just takes up a lot more time. It just makes it harder on yourself. I just don't understand it, but I guess there's a lot of money in it.
That's basically, I guess, what it's all about is the money.
But we see the football game, we see the basketball game, we see all the other sports. What are they going to? You're going to travel all. It's cost a lot of money to do all that. Yeah.
Well, when we say football pays the bills for everything, in this case, it really does.
Right.
Because I just can't imagine. There's no way that any school that's west of the Big Ten right now that's joining the league is taking commercial flights. That's just not going to happen. In the hotel I stayed in Provo, Well, it wasn't Provo. I stayed in Orem, and Utah Valley University is located in Orem. Now, that's a member of the WAC, I believe. So I stayed in the same hotel as the Stephen F. Austin volleyball team. You think they're traveling charter? No, they're not. They were on commercial flights, and so that means the UVU team probably is too. I can't imagine that any of those teams when we take.
I wouldn't go there,
flights.
Phil. Like I wouldn't want it. Like it'd be I wouldn't to say let's go. Like if I'm a kid around there to say there'd have to be a reason to go there. You know, as far as that. Like you're at UCLA, USC. All of a sudden now we're gonna travel all over we're gonna go all East Coast games. You know, it just doesn't make sense.
No, it really doesn't. And you know, as far as like trying to build a younger fan base or everything, just maybe
and you
win a national title or two. Maybe that helps.
And you made a joke about it, saying, "Hey, I got to introduce you to my other San Francisco Giants fans." You know how many UCLA fans you know in the Big Ten country? You know how many people do you know Penn State fans in the same way? It just seems goofy.
Well, I mean, college sports for years, Matt, has been a regional thing. I mean, that's why the SEC is named the Southeastern Conference. The Big Ten originally was called the Western Conference because, you know, back then I think we viewed the Midwest as, you know, big part of the West. It's a lot different now. It's just, and why is the ACC, the Atlantic
Coastal,
Coast?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the coast of the Atlantic Ocean went all the way to Louisville, Kentucky. You know, I mean, so it's the Big Ten. I mean,
they got a
keep
good
that
Navy
name.
there, yeah.
But like for the Pac-12, look at what's going on with the Big 12. They're having a resurgence, but it's being led by teams that are staying in that league. Oklahoma State, TCU, top of the list. Kansas even, which is just kind of cool that they're playing well. Texas, they've been all right. Oklahoma stinks this year, so they're headed to the SEC where things are about to get a heck of a lot tougher. Look at the Pac-12. There is a bit of a resurgence there, although maybe they lost their chance to get a team into the championship or into the playoff with USC finally losing their first game. But USC and UCLA have kind of like led the resurgence for that conference this year. And in 2 years, they're headed to the Big Ten, where it's just going to be a different thing, you know, going up. And it's like I say, a different thing. You say, all right, well, go up against Purdue. Okay, we'll go up against Purdue. Go up against Northwestern. Sure, easy. Minnesota, fine, bring it. Wisconsin right now, yes, bring it. Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, although Penn State didn't really look very good against Michigan.
I was tough, man. I had some tough teams. And then Illinois, Coach Bielema, and they got Barry Lunny Jr. as the OC there. And I know they're kind of low-scoring games, but good. You know, I like to see Arkansas people like Barry. I like to see them doing well.
Yeah, Big Ten football. Illinois has scored the most they've scored in a game is 38 against Wyoming. But, I mean, they've won. You like Iowa? 9-6, a baseball score, slugfest, when Illinois beat Iowa a couple of weeks ago. But, yeah, Coach B's got them. I'm going to pull up the rankings because I did look at them a moment earlier, and I saw Arkansas is getting 3 votes from the coaches, 1 vote in the AP. Illinois, 18th in the AP poll.
Nice.
Moved up 6 spots, right behind Kansas State. Georgia remains number 1. Ohio State number 2 in both polls.
Is there a way we could play Illinois in a bowl game this year? Like Illinois falls back a little bit. We get to our 7 or 8 we got to get to, and then, man, wouldn't that be something?
I hadn't even thought of that, Matt, but that's a great plan. So Arkansas played a Big Ten school last year, right? Penn State. It's doable. I don't know if you get back to Tampa, but it is doable.
Who's the coach there? He was the Vanderbilt coach at Penn State now.
Franklin.
Joe Franklin. Yeah.
James Franklin.
James Franklin. Yeah, he was at Vanderbilt and Penn State. He's got him going good.
Well, they got rolled by Michigan, but that doesn't mean they might not end up at an Outback Bowl again anyway. That's, I think, like 3rd tier for Big Ten teams. All right, we're going to step aside. Want to remind you about BetUS.com. You got Monday Night Football tonight on my Bet Saracen app. I've got the over-under at 45.5 with the Broncos and the Chargers. I'll take the under on that one. You do it at BetUS.com, too. 28th year of NFL action. 200% sign-up bonus. You'll find no better sign-up bonus in the entire industry. BetUS. This is where you can cash in on all your favorite leagues. Major League playoffs in full swing. The NBA regular season starts tomorrow. And of course, the NFL has been going on for a few weeks, plus casino games, European slots, and live dealers at digital tables waiting for you at BetUS.com or call 800-79-BET-US. All right, we're coming up near the very end of our second hour on halftime, and we'll come right back after a quick break.
Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center now offers in-stock vinyl plank flooring starting at 89 cents per square foot. If you're a do-it-yourself kind of person, they have all the materials needed to lay your new flooring, or you can choose their professional installation. Whatever your choice, give them a call today to get a free same-day estimate. Financing available. For the best customer service from flooring to countertops, Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center is your local flooring professional. Check them out online at flooring.norrisms.com or on the corner of Wheeler and South Y, 479-289-7111. Hablamos Espanol.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using a Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like me.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. Go Paschal.com.
Flu season will be here before you know it, and Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith has the regular and 65-plus senior flu shots ready now to care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 and schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
They'll leave KJ alone in the backfield on 3rd down and 2. Now they shift DeBinion to the left hip of his quarterback. AJ's going to throw. He's going to loop it. DeBinion, touchdown, Arkansas. DeBinion out of the backfield. That was easy. 15 yards and a score.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I appreciate Ty Richardson texting in and sending the idea that apparently Arkansas and Illinois are projected to play in the Music City Bowl.
Already?
How about that? Yeah.
There we go.
You can start to believe some of these bowl projections 7 games in,
I can see it, yeah.
I don't want to go to Nashville. Like, I love Nashville.
I would love to play Coach Beelan and beat that. I mean, I would love to go just wear him out, man. That would be fun. Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun. Yes. Oh man, well, we've already played one former coach this year. Why not make it 2?
Yeah.
And see what happens. All right, let's end the second hour with a second reset.
Freeze frame!
Reset and refresh.
Reset. The Great Reset.
It's time for the Halftime Reset, giving you all the info and facts you need to make it through the rest of your day in sports.
False start. Both teams back on the get back here.
Now, here's Phil Elson with your Halftime Reset.
All right, really not many Razorbacks got involved in NFL games on Sunday. Dre Greenlaw, 6 tackles, 4 solo in the Niners' 28-14 loss to Atlanta. Hunter Henry's playing well, and his first touchdown of the season, 4 catches for 61 yards for the Pats as they defeat Cleveland 38-15 in the same game. Dietrich Wise Jr., 3 solo tackles, 1 defensed pass, and recorded his 5th sack of the year. Matt and I just brought up Tennessee and Nashville. Well, the Tennessee Titans had a bye. Traylon Burks expected to miss at least 2 more games. He's on IR with turf toe. But the Titans and the city of Nashville apparently have an agreement to build a $2.2 billion, with a B, $2.2 billion domed stadium. It will make it possible for the city of Nashville to host a Super Bowl and many other events. State of Tennessee is going to kick in $500 million. Titans ownership kicking in $800 million, and there'll be a 1% tax on hotel rooms in the county.
How do they not have the best stadium in the country? It's Nashville, right? Like, isn't that Country Music Hall of Fame? I mean, you got everything going on. Like, you would think they would already have the whole thing set up. I'm all for it, man. Get it going on. You got your soccer going on. Man, that'd be a fun town to have a big stadium in, big arena, and have a lot of events in. I think it's set up to do that. I've been in Nashville a couple times, and I've enjoyed it every time. A lot of good food, yeah.
It's also a city that's on the short list for Major League Baseball expansion. Nissan Stadium's just 23 years old, but it's going to be coming down. This domed stadium is going to be built on the east side of the Cumberland River, next to the current location, and on another river in Tennessee sits the goalposts at Neyland Stadium. Did you see that the Tennessee Athletic Department is asking for donations to buy new goalposts? Not donations to pay the $250,000 fine for storming the field. They got to buy new goalposts. And apparently these things cost about $150,000 because they've raised almost $90,000. That's just sort of 60%. And they're taking donations of $16 because that's the number of years that the Vols had lost in a row to the Crimson Tide before Saturday. They're taking $52.49 donations because that was the final score. But I kind of wonder about this. Like, this is a huge athletic department. Why are we taking donations for goalposts?
That's funny. Why are we taking it to the river, though? Why wouldn't we want to keep it? Wouldn't we want to keep the goalpost somewhere? Why are we throwing it away? It would be kind of
fun. Like if you don't throw the goalposts in the lake. Like, stick the goalposts up at the very top of Dixon Street the next time you do this. And now we've got all sorts of fun that can happen at 2:30 in the evening or in the morning on a Saturday night in Fayetteville when we've got people kicking field goals through the real Razorback Stadium goalposts at the top of Dixon Street. You're welcome. Into the third hour of halftime. Don't go anywhere.
Cooler weather is on the way. Is your heating system ready? Let Ashley Air get your home ready with their $69 fall tune-up special. Ashley Air's trained technicians will check your system and make certain it's heating your home efficiently. It's just part of Ashley Air's 100% satisfaction guarantee. On game day, call the Hogs. When your heat needs repaired, call Ashley Air. Get your $69 fall tune-up now. Just go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your tune-up. That's AshleyAir.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
Place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Jaeger's Ace is your place for hot savings on DeWalt 20-volt brushless bare tools for fall cleanup. DeWalt blower only $129 with your Ace Rewards card. Or choose a 10-inch pole saw, only $149 with your Ace Rewards card. Need something bigger? Get the DeWalt 12-inch chainsaw for only $169 with your Ace Rewards card. Hurry into Jaeger's Hardware. This offer ends October 31st.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Gray Brothers Equipment understands the importance of your hay crop, and they're ready to help with quality Kubota products like Kubota rotary disc mowers, Kubota brand wheel hay rakes, and VV round balers attached to Kubota's M-Series cab tractor. Together, Kubota and Gray Brothers will make your hay days fun again. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Photo, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
For 33 years, Manfield's Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle needs. Get a great deal on a Superstar battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep on your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield is open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 1 on Saturdays.
Would you like to cut your utility bills without cutting comfort? Stay cool and save while enjoying the reliability and efficiency of a new Luxair HVAC system. Have your contractor call J&B Supply to hook you up with a Luxair system perfectly suited for your home. Luxair provides optimal comfort, energy savings, and lasting performance. J&B Supply, where the professionals go for all their HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs since 1968. J&B Supply with locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny and cooler, our high mid-50s north, mid-60s south. We're clear and quite cold tonight, upper 20s north, upper 30s south. And then Tuesday, sunny skies, our highs will be in the low to mid-50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Catch Sam Pittman live every Wednesday night at 7.
Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal? I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I'm putting my heart up. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones. Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down,
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Two hours has flown by. I mean, really flown by. It's only felt like 120 minutes since we started this show on a Monday. And great to be with you as we wrap up Arkansas versus BYU. Got no game to get ready for this weekend. Matt Jones, Matty T, me, Phil Elson, and you with us for the next hour. We've got Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South in the next segment to get over on some of the stuff that happened in the SEC, which was a crazy, crazy weekend. 25 degrees in Fayetteville tonight, down to a low of 20 tomorrow. Oh, yes. So I heard this is going to be one of the earliest freezes that we've ever had in the state of Arkansas. So I wonder, when do you turn your heat on? Because I'm getting it on tonight. There's no way I'm not putting the heat on tonight. I know some people get a little bit stubborn about when they're going to flick on the air conditioning. You know, you wait until the last moment and you start feeling that sweat maybe in April. So I know some people that try to hold off until May. I know a lot of people that just are not interested in turning the heat on in October. But I don't know if you're going to have much of a choice because it's going to be a really cold one these next couple of days. Have you seen? It's going to be below zero.
I love it.
Below zero up north. You love the cold weather.
So Phil, I love Fort Smith and this area and this River Valley. I mean, it's beautiful. There's about 63 days in the summertime where I do not want to go outside during this.
Miserable.
Man, it is something else. But I love this place and then where you're at, and this is Arkansas in general. Yes, I love the cooler nights, the cooler mornings, and as long as it's I like to go golf in the afternoons and do stuff. So this weather, this is golfing weather right here, and especially till the time changes back and everything. But I love it.
This is my favorite time to go run is when it's really cold outside.
Right.
You know?
And my favorite time to eat ice cream. Some weird reason I like ice cream when it's cold. But in the summertime, I'll go get a snow cone or something, but I won't do ice cream. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of the same way with the opposite of ice cream with my favorite martini. I love it in the cold weather. I don't know what it is. Maybe it makes me feel like I'm in Siberia, you know? They love those things in Russia too.
That's what they say. A Russian morning, have 3 shots of vodka and go on a walk.
Right. Yeah. Who needs caffeine? 877-377-6963 if you got something for us here. It looks like people are enjoying Matt Jones being on the show. If you just joined us, Matt's with us for until the end of time as a full-time co-host here on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. So I know it's different for folks to hear that voice on this show, but it's not different to hear the name Matt. So that'll make you feel just like you're at home anyway. So the Alabama-Tennessee game was just a classic, and I didn't get a chance to watch it as it happened because that was during the Arkansas-BYU game.
I got to watch a little bit of the end of it. We flipped over to the channel, and I didn't know that Tennessee quarterback was the same age as Jalen Hurts. Did you know the Philly quarterback?
He's in his 6th year.
Yeah, so I didn't, and I watched the teams Arkansas play and that, so I haven't seen Tennessee play this year. And man, they got it going on, and Bama, they had a chance there with that field goal, and their kicker misses it, which you think that he should have made that, and they went down and they hit a seam route really that I'm sure you saw the replay, but I don't understand how you let the guy that open when you know what they're doing. You know they're throwing the ball down the field to get in the field goal range. How do you not have that covered? But he's just way too open in that scenario. And Saban's a defensive guy. Somebody ain't having fun watching film this week. I'll tell you that over there at Alabama.
Well, look at Hucker's numbers now. I mean, he feels like he's the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. 15 touchdowns against 1 interception, completing 70% of his passes, and a little bit over 1,800 yards. And, it's kind of a week off for Tennessee this week because they get their FCS opponent, UT Martin. And then after that, they'll get Kentucky. Kentucky had I felt a surprising win over Mississippi State, even though Will Levis had to leave the game in the 4th quarter because of that foot. But the defense for Kentucky really stepped up. That Mississippi State offense that Arkansas had such trouble with, well, they gained a total of 225 yards for the game. That was like a 1 quarter in Starkville against the Razorbacks.
Well, and Kentucky, when they are good, we played them a few times, but when they're good, they can play a little defense on you. And, yeah, I mean, I would have thought, I'm with you, Phil, I would have thought Mississippi State would have got that one. And it just shows you the parity and just the talent and just going on the road anywhere in the SEC. We look at our schedule. We know we're going to Auburn after this bye week, and you got to go to Missouri, which you can say what you want in the past. We haven't had that much success, but we won't worry about that. But going on the road in the SEC, if you don't show up, that any team can win. I mean, that's why it's the best college football conference in America.
Well, there are still some very lengthy winning streaks that Alabama has against other programs. Do you know they've won 23 straight against Vanderbilt?
Well, I think a lot of teams probably win double digits straight against Vanderbilt. Their baseball and basketball team have been tough. I have not. Jay Cutler played for them, I think, for years ago. I couldn't tell you one other Vanderbilt. I don't know anybody that says I want to go to Vanderbilt to play football. Of course you want to go there for a degree and for how awesome the school is, and it's right there in Nashville, is it not? Right there, get out of here.
City.
But I don't know anybody that that's what they. So I could see that. I mean, yeah.
So I love the other end of success, which is utter total failure. Vanderbilt is that they've got plenty of losing streaks. The crazy thing is, so now Tennessee is the new cool kid in town again. And Vandy's lost 3 straight to Tennessee, but before that, they had beaten the Volunteers 3 in a row. Like, think about that, how far the Tennessee football program had fallen to where they actually lost to Vanderbilt 3 years in a row. And now they've beaten them 3 in a row.
Rocky Top was on some hard times, but that gets you back to Jimmy Franklin, James Franklin at Penn State. That's the last time I remember watching a Vanderbilt team that looked like they were competent, and that's how I thought that was a good hire. Because if you go to Vanderbilt and win, you talk about challenges. If you're a football coach and you want to prove yourself, you go to Vanderbilt and win. You coach anywhere.
Bama's got a 7-game winning streak against Kentucky. This is nuts. Like, Alabama and Kentucky, their series goes all the way back to 1902. They played 41 games all time. Alabama's won 38 of them.
Whoa.
And, of course, they share Bear Bryant as a head coach. Bama's beaten Florida 8 in a row. Mississippi State, 14 straight seasons. Of course, we know about the Arkansas losing streak to Alabama as well. So it's 1 down and still 5 very long winning streaks for Bama. Georgia's won 12 straight over Kentucky, 9 straight over Mizzou. And I wasn't able to find any other, really lengthy winning streaks for one program over another. Is that ever anything anybody worries about in the locker room, about how many years in a row a team has lost to or beaten a team?
Not one time is it brought up as a player. No. Not one single time. It's I think the coaches do a good job about that and not letting any outside influence in and taking everything one day at a time. And I had a coach tell me this one time. He's like, you'll be on this team right here. We're starting a season, and he's like, you will never, ever, ever be on the same team again. Like there's going to be somebody that's going to be new or something. And this is like a 7th grade basketball team when it's all your buddies, and you think, yeah, of course we're going to be the same guys on the team. And so it holds true. So every new game is a new opportunity, and you just got it. You don't really even think about it as a player.
It's the same as year after year, right? I mean, year after year, it's like what you're saying right there. It's a different team every year.
Yes, sir, yeah.
One strength from one season doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a strength the next season. Same goes for the weaknesses.
That makes it that more impressive, though, than, all those winning streaks, yeah.
That's true. Well, it says a lot about – there's the difference between a team, the team for that year and the program in and of itself. Yeah. The program is a string of success or a string of losses or a string of, just being mediocre. And then like a team 1 year, all of a sudden, Kansas all of a sudden is having a year. Doesn't mean their program's any good. Not yet.
I wonder, too, with the transfer portal and everybody be able to do that, how much that's involved with, because these coaches can jump around from team to team, and these players, they buy into a coach's system. You have another coach come in that doesn't maybe fit their system as much as why they're able to move. So, if that's just one little thing.
Sooner or later, we're just going to start calling it what it is, which is college football free agency. And I'll remind you about the Fence Man. You know the Fence Man. They do all the large commercial jobs. They do all the small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial, residential chain link, custom wrought iron fencing. The Fence Man should be your only call. Plus, they've got 18-month same as cash financing available. 479-782-3936. For the Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South stops by halftime next.
I think you can be awfully proud of the way your fans are with you. I've never seen stands so full of life. The whole state was behind you. There was a spirit there about it, Coach, and that means that your team has done something that's really great for this state.
Thank you, sir. We're very proud of our fans. They've had a big part in the success that we've had.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Traylon down the sideline. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Cooler weather is on the way. Is your heating system ready? Let Ashley Air get your home ready with their $69 fall tune-up special. Ashley Air's trained technicians will check your system and make certain it's heating your home efficiently. It's just part of Ashley Air's 100% satisfaction guarantee. On game day, call the Hogs. When your heat needs repaired, call Ashley Air. Get your $69 fall tune-up now. Just go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your tune-up. That's AshleyAir.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Flu season will be here before you know it, and Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith has the regular and 65-plus senior flu shots ready now to care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 and schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Metal Mart offers high-quality, prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shops, carports, and more. They strive to be the company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials you need to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford, with locations in Fort Smith, Mayflower, Jonesboro, and Little Rock, or catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Nobody has a better selection of 2022 and 23 Fords than Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. More than 36 new Fords have arrived or are on the way. Ford F-150s, Expeditions, Escapes, Broncos, and Bronco Sports are all at Harry Robinson. And you will never pay more than MSRP. That's Harry Robinson's promise to you. The biggest and best selection of new Ford vehicles are at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal, and online at harryrobinson.com.
Unleash your inner detective at the 6-Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6-Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit patriottransport.com to apply. That's patriottransport.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
And I don't think they're going to snap it again. Sam Pittman making his way to the middle of the field. And Arkansas has moved to 4-3 on the season.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And the Saturday Down South national columnist Connor O'Gara joining us here for his usual hit on a Monday afternoon. Connor, a pretty wild Saturday of college football. There's a lot to make sense of. Have you made sense of all of it yet?
I've tried. I don't think I've fully been able to make sense of everything, but I'm doing my best. I'm trying to figure out where exactly those Tennessee goalposts have gone, if they are still indeed in the Tennessee River. There are a lot of questions I'm still asking on this Monday afternoon.
Have you made your donation for the Tennessee Goalpost Fund yet? They apparently don't have enough money to purchase a goalpost, but they do have enough money to cover a $250,000 fine.
It's pretty amazing to think that one could have, what do they have, like 102,000 fans in the stadium, and they come up with that tweet. Like, of all the things that you can do to capitalize on that moment, which Tennessee did a lot of those things, I thought playing Dixieland Delight in the wake of that victory was an all-time move. I think being able to kind of turn a blind eye to roughly, 101,000 cigars so that they could get into the stadium, a great move, smart self-awareness there. But to fire off that tweet to me was just baffling. I mean, you could pay for that with money that your NIL quarterback, Nico, I still can't pronounce his last name, who's coming in the 2023 class. You could pay for that with what he's being able to get there in NIL funds. So, yeah, just a strange move, lack of self-awareness on that one.
Well, it'd be hard-pressed to find another game across the entire college football schedule for all of the season that would be more entertaining, I imagine, than Tennessee's win over Alabama. I think last year, Arkansas, Ole Miss got top billing, but that didn't have the national implications that this win for Tennessee had over Alabama. And it had it all, man. I mean, it really had it all. Tons of passing yards, big plays, both teams a chance to get a field goal near the end of it, and the goalposts at the end were just sort of the cherry on the top. So, and I guess what stands out is Alabama really kind of killed themselves with 17 penalties. That was a huge part of it, too.
It was. And I know there are a lot of Alabama fans who are frustrated with the penalties that were called. I don't think they're going to get a whole lot of sympathy from the rest of the SEC on that department. But, at the same time, I mean, let's not diminish what exactly Tennessee did to set themselves up to put up 52 points against Alabama, something that hadn't been done in 115 years. To see that kind of offensive output, it was just stunning. I mean, this is a Tennessee team that I think coming into the year, a lot of people were like, all right, yeah, we know offensively they're going to be really good. But if you had told me that they were going to be without Cedric Tillman in this game and they were still going to put up 52 points and that Jalen Hyatt was going to do his best Justin Jefferson 2019 Peach Bowl imitation, I would have said, you're crazy. There's no way. And I was high on Tennessee coming into this year. But, man, I just continue to be blown away by what Josh Heupel, Alex Golesh have done with this offense to transform that personnel, which looked like it was left for dead in the wake of the Jeremy Pruitt fallout. It's just an unbelievable thing to process. I mean, we're talking about Tennessee potentially having the National Coach of the Year. Hendon Hooker is not necessarily the favorite for the Heisman Trophy in betting odds, but he's close to it. And I could make a really good case that Tennessee deserves to be the number one team in college football right now. In the middle of year 2 of the Josh Heupel era. It's baffling. It's truly hard to process.
This happened so quickly. But, I mean, I can't ask, are we supposed to get used to total turnarounds like this because of the era of the transfer portal? But it is mind-blowing. I mean, you had Arkansas win 3 games in 2020, 9 games the year after. We'll see what happens in year 3. But, I mean, Tennessee also won 3 games in 2020, and now they're top 4, and I mean, they're just steamrolling towards what looks like an inevitable battle for the division with Georgia in a few weeks.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. If you're not using the transfer portal, which, a lot of people have criticized Dabo Swinney, his lack of adjustments that he has made to be able to say we need to fill certain things on our roster with the transfer portal. If you're not using it, you're hurting yourself. And Tennessee is the perfect example of why you should be using it, because Hendon Hooker committed to Jeremy Pruitt. He didn't even commit to Josh Heupel. He stayed with Josh Heupel. And he even stayed with Josh Heupel after he inexplicably named Joe Milton his QB1 to open last season. And Brew McCoy, a guy who, everybody was talking about for the first 3 years of his career, for him not playing in this back and forth with USC and Texas, and didn't even find out that he was going to be eligible until August 26th. And he makes, in my opinion, the biggest play of that game, the 27-yard catch that sets up Chase McGrath for the game-winning field goal. And you're looking around going, this is why you make moves like that. And you have to be agile. You have to be willing to assess your needs. And Tennessee did that in an extraordinary way. And now suddenly it has personnel that looks like it was just born to fit that system.
Well, did you get a chance to have your eyes on Arkansas and BYU? I'm sure that one played out exactly the way you thought, because here I was all week. We're like, yeah, they're just going to run it right down BYU's throat. And they did, but first they just threw it all around the yard with KJ back, and Matt Landers had his best game as a Razorback. I mean, maybe the Arkansas passing attack can stay open, just like Sam Pittman wanted it to go. He talked about it all week. Did Saturday's game against BYU change any of your thoughts after a 3-game losing streak for the Razorbacks?
It did, and of course I had it streaming. While I had Alabama and Tennessee on the main TV, I had Arkansas, BYU streaming because I'm not going to miss a chance to look at those mountains. I spent some time out in Utah. I spent a week in Utah this summer, man. Unbelievable place. I mean, truly unbelievable. You see the scenery. It's incredible. It's almost like KJ said, he went full Uncle Rico in this game. It's like, I'm going to throw the football over those mountains, except he was more accurate. I mean, I thought him working the middle of the field was the difference in that game. And that was the big issue coming in is, this lack of trust with the receivers and trusting that they're going to be able to scheme guys open. And you really saw the passing game, I think, turn a new leaf. And that was important because you knew that Kendall Briles did not want to have to run KJ 15 to 20 times in that game. Coming off of the head injury, you need him to go. You just do. And so for him to show that toughness, the way that he did, escaping 4 different guys, I mean, grown man strength to be able to make that play and to find Trey Knox on the move. I was just really impressed by KJ. His response after sitting out a week, after hearing all the criticism about the passing game, it just, to me, showed why not everybody is built like him. And I think Arkansas moving forward is going to be in good shape, even though they do have, obviously, still the issues with the defense.
Well, their next game is Auburn, and Auburn gets a much-needed bye week. I'd say it's a much-needed bye week for the Razorbacks, too, with as many injuries as they've got in the secondary. Auburn hung with Ole Miss. It looked early like they might get blown out, but they did hang with them. And, I mean, at least they're handing it to Tank Bigsby, but it's not a team that can move the ball through the air very much. But, I mean, I would expect that on the Plains and a couple of Saturdays at 11 in the morning on SEC Network, we're going to see two teams that are going to try to run the ball down each other's throats. The only difference is Arkansas actually can throw the ball.
Yeah, look, Auburn can't stop the run. I mean, they don't have a chance to stop the run. They have not shown any ability to do that whatsoever. Ole Miss had 3 different guys reach the century mark in that game. I mean, they had 69 rushes for 448 yards. I mean, so as great as it was to see Auburn actually show a little bit of fight, some offensive life in that game, and you see Robbie Ashford, Tank Bigsby get into it on the sideline when it's a 21-7 game. You're kind of like, all right, I don't know what's really going to come of this, but Auburn looks pretty decent offensively against an Ole Miss defense that's been better than what I thought they were going to be coming into this year. But at the same time, this still should set up well for Arkansas to be able to run the football. And if they're going to have balance coming off of the bye week after what looked like a really promising showing in the passing game, then I tend to think that this favors Arkansas in this matchup. Obviously, they'd love to be able to avenge last year's loss, the way that played out. I mean, up until Saturday, that was the last time we really saw any sort of offensive pulse from Auburn. It was this game last year that Arkansas lost. So I think that this still should set up really well, and I think if you're an Arkansas fan, you're feeling a lot better going into the bye than what we could have been talking about.
Connor, Matt Jones here. I was going to ask you the top 5. So who would be your top 5 SEC teams right now? You said Tennessee was number 1 for you, and they just beat Alabama. So do you have Georgia at 2, or how would you rank the top 5 right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'd still probably – you know what? I'd go Tennessee because I said coming into the year I thought Tennessee was going to beat Georgia, and nothing so far has told me that I'm going to be wrong about that necessarily. So, yeah, I mean, I think you'd have to put Tennessee there, and I'd put Georgia at 2, Alabama at 3. They got to work through those defensive issues, the discipline issues that they've had with penalties in these true road games. But then, number 4 is really difficult. It is. I think I'd probably still go with Ole Miss just because I think what they've shown in the ground game, I mean, they might be one-dimensional, but their one dimension is second to none. I mean, what they're doing with Quinshon Judkins and Zach Evans in the ground game is remarkable. And then after that, man, it is a toss-up. It really is. I think you got to lean Kentucky. I think I'd go Kentucky for that number 5 spot just because, what they did against Mississippi State, like Mississippi State was rolling, and they completely stymied Will Rogers in that game. He had 3.9 yards per attempt in the first half of that game. And that was a year after he completed all but 3 of his 39 passes against Kentucky. So Yeah, I like the Cats still with Will Levis healthy. I think I'd give them the edge for that number 5 spot.
I agree that we were talking about that earlier with that Kentucky defense is real, man. And that usually when Kentucky has a defense, they'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. They have some 2018 vibes to them. I mean, they play their tails off too. Like they've had issues in the front seven with injuries. It doesn't really look like it. I mean, even against we talked a lot about Ole Miss and that rushing attack, and I'm sure Arkansas fans will have plenty of scouting to do to see what exactly they're in for. In that matchup coming up here, but I still think that this is still a Kentucky defense that, to me, I think what they have done so incredibly well is make those game adjustments with Mark Stoops. I mean, what they did at Florida in the Swamp after it looked like Anthony Richardson, everybody's talking about Heisman with his performance against Utah, and they just totally contained him in that one. And I've been really impressed with the way that they've been able to kind of keep them in some of these games. I don't really put the South Carolina loss on them, a game in which they didn't have Will Levis. But, yeah, Kentucky's defense is legit. It's one of the better units in the SEC.
Well, Connor, you brought up Ole Miss, and I don't think you'd mention LSU, but these are two teams that we're really about to find out, how good they are because of what they've got ahead of them. Arkansas's got their toughest games behind them now. So then it's not like you got cupcakes for the next 5 games, but this 3-game stretch really looked like it was the toughest of the year for Arkansas. LSU, they got Ole Miss, then Alabama, then they travel to Fayetteville. I don't care too much about Alabama, Birmingham. Then they go to A&M, and the series with LSU and A&M is nuts. Ole Miss, really, a win over Kentucky, I think, is impressive. But outside of that, they haven't played anybody. And they got LSU and A&M on the road. Then Alabama, then Ole Miss comes to Fayetteville, and then the Egg Bowl. So, we'll find out what these two teams are all about. I guess I would expect Ole Miss to hang a little more than LSU, but, LSU winning in Florida, that was an impressive win, too.
The question with LSU is, did they turn the corner with their passing game? They've had very well-documented issues with Jaden Daniels trusting those receivers. Group of receivers that might be the best in the SEC when healthy, although I think Tennessee has kind of taken that title all to themselves. But I think that's the big question that we have moving forward, because against Florida, man, they look good. They took whatever they wanted in that game. And Kayshon Boutte, when he is involved and engaged in a game plan like that, as Brian Kelly said afterwards, they're a different team. So, yeah, they have their fair share of issues. They're not going to beat you with the ground game and necessarily dominate you in that regard. But I still think that LSU is going to be just a scary team to play down the stretch. They've already got those 2 losses, so it's kind of like nothing to lose. You don't have a coach on the hot seat, so you don't have guys that are playing tight necessarily. I think LSU is going to be one of those teams that could just be a wild card week to week, because even quarter to quarter, man, they can be kind of all over the place. So that's a team that's going to be really difficult to play for 60 minutes.
Connor, always appreciate you hopping on with us. We'll leave it there and look forward to talking more football with you Monday next week.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. That is Connor O'Gara, national columnist, Saturday Down South.
He knows his stuff. I'm going to like talking with him a little bit. Yeah, man, he's good.
He's got every SEC game on and then watches the recaps of games. Yeah, and writes a Saturday Tradition, which is all about the Big Ten. So, yeah, they got football up the yin-yang going on there. Hey, great place to watch Arkansas football. Not this Saturday, but certainly next Saturday is Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. That's because they got the home of half-price apps and half-price taps during any televised Razorback game and TV in the restaurant. So you got a front row seat no matter where you're sitting, and your favorite apps and beers that are all half-price. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th in Fort Smith. They're right across from Harps, open Tuesday through Saturday. Back with more halftime, a very quick break.
First, there was big tobacco. Now there's big marijuana. They've already ruined the quality of life in Colorado and California. Their next target? Arkansas, with Issue 4. They claim Issue 4 will benefit us, but in reality, it would only help a small group of corporate marijuana interests make millions and hurt us. By repealing limits on marijuana potency, Issue 4 puts profits over people, exposing our community to dangerous new higher potency marijuana products. By repealing advertising restrictions on marijuana, it puts our children at risk, exposing them to harmful marijuana products at a young age. Finally, as a constitutional amendment, any problems Issue 4 creates will be locked in and nearly impossible to undo. The truth is, Issue 4 would only line the pockets of big marijuana corporate interests and harm the quality of life for the rest of us. We can do better. Vote no on Issue 4. Paid for by Safe and Secure Communities.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Gray Steel Structures Incorporated is a family-owned business based in Greenwood specializing in steel structures. Owner Will Gray has 20 years' experience doing the job right and making sure you're satisfied with the structure you have a need for. Gray Steel Structures serves both commercial and residential customers. Whatever your need may be, mini storage, RV storage, home workshop, or any metal building need, make Gray Steel Structures your first call. Gray Steel Structures, 252-2783. That's 252-2783.
GraySteelStructuresInc.com. That's Gray with an A.
Hardee's new Charbroiled Double Deals, starting at $2.99 each, have the Academy for New Offerings hailing this double cheeseburger deal as very new indeed. How much more new does it get than the new Bacon Double Cheeseburger and the new California Classic Double Cheeseburger? Not much newer than that. Well, I've got news for the Academy. After this, I'm getting myself a double cheeseburger from this new deal. The new Charbroiled Double Deal, starting at $2.99 each at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included for a limited time. Price and participation may vary. Visit restaurant or app for details.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
When you need a good pre-owned vehicle at the best price, you go to Crane Used Car Supercenter, because
don't be frightened this October. It's just the scary good deals from the Crane Used Car Supercenter taking over your radio. Fear not. Come see for yourself and let Joe treat you to 0 down and no payments till next year. That's right, 0 down and no payments till 2023. The frighteningly good deals are at Crane Used Car Supercenter, US Highway 71 in Fort Smith.
With over 8,000 square feet of all the latest trends in lighting and plumbing fixtures, Great House Fixtures has all the brands you know and love, such as Visual Comfort Lighting and Delta Faucets. Their experienced staff can help you design and select the perfect fixtures for your uniquely you home, including sinks, tubs, faucets, custom showers, indoor and outdoor lighting, chandeliers, mirrors, hardware, and more. Make your house a great house. Learn more at greathousefixtures.com, located on 0th Street in Fort Smith. Great House Fixtures by J&B Supply.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
Hogs on third downs, 9 for 11 today. We'll see if they can convert here. Jefferson gets the snap. Here comes the rush. KJ in the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas. Matt Landers caught another one. His third touchdown reception of the day.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Yes, sir. Moving along here on Halftime, ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. We are into the home stretch here, 877-377-6963. If you got anything for us. You guys see this? You probably did because it came out Friday. There is a movie that has been green-lighted. I don't think it's started yet.
I thought this was a joke when I first saw it.
It's the real thing.
I want to see his golf swing, right? You want to see his golf swing. Yeah.
Yep. John Daly. There will be a John Daly biopic that has been green-lighted. They haven't started the movie yet. Nothing's been filmed yet. But we all have these conversations with people. Who's going to play you in the movie about you? Does anybody ever answer Jonah Hill is going to play me? I doubt it.
You know who Dave Grohl said? So Dave Grohl was like, who would play in your biopic? You know, he said.
Who did he pick?
I can't remember her name, but he said the woman from The Shining.
Oh, my gosh.
It was he said her name, but that would be perfect, though, right? He looks just like Dave Grohl.
Shelley Duvall.
There it is.
Oh, my
Shelley
gosh.
yeah.
Olive oil?
Dave Grohl is so funny.
Trying to picture if the two of them look at all alike. But, you know, put a baseball bat in her hand. And a bunch of tears going down her face.
I just don't know. I saw Jonah Hill run in Superbad and some of those other movies. I just don't know if he has any athletic ability in him, though. Like, is he? I guess they can do amazing things on that green screen, huh?
Either that, or he's going to get a really good swing coach.
Right? Yeah.
Like an incredibly good swing coach. I'd say this, like about movie stars who play professional athletes. They don't always have to have any real. Athletic
talent, yeah.
Right. And I guess it started with, who was the guy that played Babe Ruth in the Babe Ruth story?
Oh,
William Bendix, I think was his name.
It's those baseball movies, though. At least Dennis Quaid could throw. Kevin Costner. I mean, they can throw. They kind of look like maybe you played high school ball before. You know, like it's like yeah.
The one didn't like watching, and this is my favorite movie of all time. Costner could play because he played college baseball at Fullerton and a switch hitter at that. Tim Robbins looked like he'd never pitched before in his life.
Didn't John Goodman play Babe Ruth too?
He did.
The Babe.
And he was. And see the thing in the William Bendix story, the William Bendix movie that he played. Nobody knows who William Bendix is, but he was right-handed. He couldn't swing the bat left-handed, so they had a right-handed Babe Ruth. At least John Goodman swung the bat left-handed. I don't know how pretty the swing was, but at least he swung it left-handed. It's the same in Field of Dreams. Ray Liotta plays Shoeless Joe Jackson. But Ray Liotta couldn't swing a bat left-handed. Shoeless Joe was left-handed. It would seem to me to be a pretty important detail. So hopefully Jonah Hill is not a left-handed golfer. Otherwise, I'm not going to buy into it.
Yeah.
He's been in a sports movie before.
Oh, Moneyball.
Moneyball.
Yeah. I'm a big Jonah Hill fan.
Oh, anything he does, I'll go watch it. Yeah.
He didn't have to have a lick of athletic ability to play that part.
No, he's like, why do you keep whispering to him? Why do you keep telling him not to take our players? Yeah.
Right. You remember, like, he actually played a part that was an amalgamation of two people who were a real part of the Moneyball story. One of them was Paul DePodesta, who played football at Harvard. You know, Jonah Hill. And the thing about Jonah Hill, too, and I've seen him tweet about this, he's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he's changed his diet. Yeah,
and he gets tired of people.
He's very sensitive to people.
Oh man, you really look good.
Just get over it.
He gets tired of this.
Yeah.
But if you're going to play John Daly, like
you're asking for
healthy
people to comment
bodysuit or something. But in that Moneyball, Phil, I read most of that book. But the one of the first things they talk about was that pitching staff that the A's had. They don't even talk about it in the movie. They don't talk about how good they were.
Think of how often everything in the movies end up on the cutting room
floor.
floor.
And how much are they? How much actual golf do people want to see John Daly? They want to know all the other stuff that John. They want to know going to the casino, going to here, doing this, doing that. You know, how many real golf swings do you know?
Yeah, they want to see him with Hooters girls. They want to see the breakdown. Yeah. I mean, really, they're going to want to see the breakdown on the golf course. I'm sure they're going to see the wins and everything. But why would you make a movie about John Daly?
Right.
Because he is this incredible personality.
It's his story, like you say, not his golf swing. Yeah.
Well, and so much of it is played out in front of the cameras for people to see during these golf tournaments too. And that's when the other thing too. It's like Hill enjoys the wardrobe. Nobody dresses like John Daly.
Dude,
That's
John
right.
Daly's a sweetheart, man. The couple times I've got to talk to him, he has been nothing but the nicest human being. I mean, we got to play his course there in Dardanelle a few years back, and he walked out there barefooted. Walks out there and I mean I don't even know if it's a 3-wood or a 3 hybrid, and just puts one up there to about 25 feet like he knows what he's doing, then chips in like it's just like you're like, dude, get out of here, man. He was so good. He still is. I think he's on the IL right now. He had a knee injury or something the last I saw when he was doing the Champions Tour, but I think he's on the IL.
In the movie, who's going to play a young Matt Jones that meets him in the men's restroom?
Ooh, Ooh, it was actually outside of the restroom.
It wasn't while you were going.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Yeah. That part won't even be brought up.
Like Matt, that part should be in the movie.
It was in between the third overtime, I think, is what it was. Yeah, see if he's down there.
This is going to be one of those things where reality and Hollywood come together. You're going to get a phone call, Matt, and you're going to play yourself in this movie.
That'd be so weird.
Well, you'd have to shave off the beard. You know, you've been working on that thing for too long to shave it off.
Yeah, and then they'd just cut it. They'd be like, "Oh, we couldn't use that scene anyways."
That's right. We'd end up on the cutting room floor anyway.
So far,
Brandon
it's been 5 years without shaving. You said
28. I've trimmed it. I've definitely trimmed, but to actual shave it off is 2018. Yes.
That would you need a day for that, man.
I might need a ceremony and everything.
And a weed whacker.
Yeah, I'd be a little. Yeah.
This would be a funeral pyre more than anything else. Brandon wants to know who would play Bartolo Colon.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
well, you got to have somebody that plays young Bartolo, and then somebody who plays.
Who's the guy that played the pest?
Big older Bartolo. Who's that?
John
Leguizamo.
Hey, there you go. He could play the younger one. Yeah.
He would. Yeah, when he can actually pitch.
Yeah.
Of all the John Leguizamo movies, the best. Wow, who knows that movie?
Well, I was gonna say Summer of Sam, but I don't know if we should. Yeah,
that would have done it.
Right. Yeah.
No, he played Luigi in the Super Mario Brothers
there
movie.
You go.
Now that's range right there, man. That is called range. I always wondered. No one's ever going to make a movie about me, of course, but my grandmother used to tell me that I looked like George Clooney. And I'm thinking, Grandma,
I see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I see it very. You feeling all right? Usually it's she's the one who asked me that question. Are you okay? What's wrong with you?
She needs thicker glasses.
Fine. You think I look like George Clooney? Clooney's got a lot more hair, and he's a hell of a lot better looking. But then again, she thought my brother-in-law looked like Brad Pitt, and he didn't look anything like Brad Pitt.
You're
so
a better actor.
She was coming on.
Yeah, but Brad Pitt's got the karate going on since the Bullet Train movie, and he'd show up to everything doing his jump kicks, Yeah. And yeah.
877-377-6963. It sounds like we got somebody on hold here. Got Zach who's called halftime. Zach, thanks for the phone call. What's up?
Hey, Phil. How's it going, guys?
What's up?
Good. Thanks for the call.
Hey, man, I just heard y'all talking about, these actors, sometimes they can play a sports player, sometimes they can't. Have y'all ever seen the movie, like, War Eagle, Arkansas? That's that kid who plays baseball?
No, I've heard about this movie, and
Is that with Brian
really
Dennehy was in it, too? Brian Dennehy?
I'm not sure who played in it, but he was an awful baseball player. Looked like
he
never
couldn't
threw a
play
baseball before in my life.
That's like Leo DiCaprio in that basketball movie.
Oh, the Basketball Diaries.
When Leo couldn't dribble, you're like, dude, what's going on?
Yeah, but he was all right inserting a needle into his arm for the movie, wasn't he?
And doing stuff, and different stuff.
He's a method actor. Yeah.
Brian Denny, he was in that movie. Method actor. Brian Denny, he was in that movie.
Maybe some things come natural. But hey, Matt, I just had a question for you, man. Your first day here on the show.
Yes, sir.
I was just wondering if you thought maybe if you played football, in the last couple of years instead, do you think that you would have a greater chance of playing quarterback in the NFL, or you still would eventually move to receiver?
Yeah, thanks, Zach. Man, I tore my labrum my freshman year when I got up there and went football, then went to basketball, and then came back to spring ball and ended up tearing it up. So, man, who knows? They definitely do a lot of fun things. I mean, watching college football these days. A lot of fun, which man, I loved watching Tommy Frazier and Cordell Stewart in the 90s and what they were doing, and so there's always been a lot of fun teams going on, and that was kind of Charlie Ward with Florida State too. I mean those teams, those were kind of some of the quarterbacks when I grew up playing. That's like Randall Cunningham, Tommy Frazier, that type of style.
Man, that's really cool. I always knew with your speed and athleticism as a kid, it was great watching growing up.
Man, it was a lot of fun.
I kind of thought it always translates to this day's game. But appreciate the call, guys.
Thank you for calling, Zach. Next up on halftime is Alex. He called from Springdale. Hey, Alex, you're on halftime. What's up?
Hey, guys. How's it going today?
Outstanding.
Good. I didn't have a whole lot to say. I enjoyed the show. I just want to say I'm glad to have Matt on board. Going to be hard replacing Drew, but I think he can do the job. And, you were really the first guy I watched growing up that got me to fall in love with the Razorbacks. So I'm glad to have you on board.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, you guys have a great day. Didn't have a whole lot to say, but hope we can keep this going after that BYU win, get healthy this week, and then go back and keep this train rolling the rest of the year.
I love it.
Alex, thanks for the phone call, man. I appreciate you listening, and thanks for taking the time. Yeah, I mean, Matt, a lot of pressure on you here. For one, you're replacing a well-loved co-host. And here's the thing, though. This is the first time since we've started halftime where I actually have sort of a contemporary of my age on the show, too. So I don't have to – we used to do a segment called Halftime Homework where I would teach Ty and then SmackDown and then Drew something from the 80s or something from the 90s because they weren't around during those
tapes.
times.
Yeah, Be Kind Rewind. Yeah.
You and I experienced a lot of these same things around the same time, so I think there's nothing to teach for pop culture. In fact, I think we like a lot of the same things in pop culture.
I love going to the movie store and renting a movie and just being something to do, or going to Best Buy on Tuesday, new release day, and checking out the new CDs, new albums are coming out. You don't do that stuff anymore.
You also probably know what Tang tastes like and what the astronauts' ice cream tasted like. All that stuff that we ingested in the 80s and all of that, yeah.
The Flavor Aid popsicles, yeah.
That's exactly right. All right, we're going to step aside for a break. We got to wrap halftime up after this.
And begging down upon his bended knee, I'll play the part, but I won't need rehearsing. All I'll have to do is act naturally.
Fall in the natural state really is the best. Football, fantastic weather, and some of the country's most beautiful scenery. At Rath Auto Resources, we love fall because prices are falling on all of our Rath Road-ready vehicles, making this the time to save on your nicer, newer car. And it's so easy. Just call, click, or come by. Let one of our friendly, non-commissioned solution specialists do all the work. It's their job to help you find just the right car, get you extra for your trade, take care of all the financing, and make sure you leave in a car of your dreams at a price and payment that fits your budget. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center. Philip and his team know how to take care of your car. More importantly, they know how to take care of you with convenient, affordable total car care and savings like half off brakes and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Why wait? Start enjoying your fall now in a nicer, newer car from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Why do people do business with First Western? Because First Western builds relationships with all of their customers. They partner for the long haul to help you with your financial goals over all seasons of life. First Western is prompt, responsive, and they deliver with quick answers and on-time loan closings. When is the last time your banker called you? If you are looking for a high level of service and a financial partner who will listen and respond, try First Western. For more information, visit them online at firstwestern.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service is all about God, family, and our country, and they proudly display the red, white, and blue. At High-Tech, they specialize in truck and trailer repair, service, and are certified in refrigeration repair. And every day, give thanks to those who have served our country and paid the ultimate sacrifice for folks like you and me. High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service, located in Van Buren at 6410 Alma Highway or at 479-474-2220.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until you get something done. Yeah, I know the game is on, but the faucet is still dripping, the toilet keeps running, and the drains won't drain, and on and on. You need to call West Ark Plumbing and let them do the dirty work while you enjoy the game. Call them at 646-5151 and watch the ball game without the West Ark Plumbing, 646-5151.
The last sale of the year is happening now at Breeden RV in Van Buren. Save thousands on new 2022 closeout specials, all backed by the free maintenance for life. A new RV doesn't have to be as high as a cat's back on Halloween night. We have the Coachman travel trailer starting at just $189 a month, and a good mix of toy haulers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes made by the best brands at all rock bottom prices. Don't get tricked by the other guys. Treat yourself at Breeden RV and drive away with the RV of your dreams today. This sale ends on Halloween. See BreedenRV.com for details.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I'm totally wired. I'm totally wired. I'm totally wired. Can you say? Totally wired. Can't you see? A butterfly stomach grounds. I drank a jar of coffee, and then I took some of these, and I'm totally wired. Totally wired. I'm totally wired.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We got to wrap things up here very quickly, so let's do it with our final reset of the show.
Hey, what you watching?
Why dost thou torment me with a TV, but not a TV guide to enjoy it with?
What do you plan on watching tonight?
How do you just walk into a house and take a TV guide? How does she expect you to watch TV? Am I just supposed to turn it on and wander aimlessly around the dial?
Well, you got a Monday night snoozer. The Broncos and the Chargers, both 2-3 at SoFi Stadium on ESPN. Over-under is 45.5. Chargers favored by 4.5 on the money line, minus 210 on Bet Saracen. And I'm not interested in watching that game because it's going to be awful. The ALDS, though, does wrap up at Yankee Stadium, 6:07 TBS. Aaron Savali pitching for the Guardians, Jameson Taillon for the Yankees. And the winner will move on to play against the Astros in the American League Championship Series.
That's definitely it, Phil. Who do you have? Who do you have tonight?
Tough to go against the Yankees at home on a night game.
Over the football game, though, right? I'm watching the baseball game tonight.
I'll put the baseball game on tonight with the kids. Yeah, my son's got a Little League game, so that'll be first and foremost, and then we'll watch real baseball instead of 80 walks and 75 wild pitches. You can put if you still have your No House Advantage app, you can use that for the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. Pick'em contest versus other people. Chance to win $150,000 plus in cash. You choose your contest, you select your player props, earn points for correct picks, and climb the leaderboard. You have a chance to win big money every day. Multiply your entry by 20 times if you test your skills against the house and hit all your picks. Use the promo code HTL at nohouseadvantage.com. A couple of other things. We never do birthdays, but Eminem turned 50 today. I'm not sure if I ever thought he was going to make it there, but he is 50.
Favorite Eminem song?
I know my least favorites. They were off I forget the name of the album. Maddie, remember that. Drew, our last co-host, assigned me a frightening album of Eminem music.
Oh, like a mixtape or something?
No, it was one of
his albums.
Yeah.
It was
like
Evil
Relapse
Stuff.
or something like that.
Yeah, Relapse.
Push Down and Turn. Yeah, something like that.
I couldn't even get past, and I don't mind Eminem at all. I just couldn't get past.
I Forgot About Dre. It's got a special place. In my heart.
those first two
Guilty
albums
Conscience
were just
was a great.
Yeah, when I was college, it seemed like everywhere you went, he was on the airwaves. Yeah.
It's a little odd for a guy who's 50 years old to be up on a stage still calling himself Slim Shady, but then again, that's where we are. And 50 isn't necessarily what it used to be. 50 is the new 35 or something like that, and Eminem still looks like he's 35 years old. All right, well, I've enjoyed Monday today. Great stuff, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Really excited about you being on board and looking forward to this. This is becoming kind of routine now, right?
I love it, man. I'm excited, man. Both you guys, thank you. Yes, sir.
Good, outstanding. And, of course, Matt Travis driving the truck. He'll have the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast coming out soon, and Ruskin and Zach are on the air at the top of the hour for a few hours. Now, get up, get out, and get better.
Riley